Hey, what's been going on, guys? Welcome to our start launch league, Start GG launch league. It's the 2,000 USD prize pool. So welcome to everyone who is watching right now in on our streams. And for those who doesn't know me, my name is JJ. I'm one of the casters on United Championship Series, and along with me are some of the casters as well from the United Championship Series from APAC and OCE. So let's welcome Moonboy and my man Perma Sneeze. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We've been a bit of issues getting the game set up, a bit
Mm-hmm.
of back end stuff. I think checking in and all that. But we're glad to be here. Start GG just rebranded, and this is the event to commemorate that. They brought a lot of different titles, and I believe
Mm-hmm.
5 regions as well. We're covering APAC right now, but we have
Mm-hmm.
what Europe, we have North America, we have South America, and we have Brazil as well. So just a lot of Pokemon Unite action going on.
Yeah,
Right.
not just that, right? So, finally we're here. We are moving straight right to the winners final. So, it's gonna be neck to neck. It's gonna have lots of really close game, and the
Mm-hmm.
team that's still around right now are just one of the best team in the region.
Right. And so, let's take a look at the brackets that we do have right now before we head into the game.
I think RJ Gaming kind of shocked all of us during the AOS Cup, right? We were
Mm-hmm.
also surprised. It felt like they came out of nowhere. I mean, we later found out they played under a different name, but now they've
Mm-hmm.
really been tearing it up. But I don't know if you guys saw the earlier part of that bracket. AFR is back, guys. AFR is
Mm-hmm.
back. They didn't have that good of an AOS Cup, but they managed to beat RJ Gaming 2-0 earlier on
Right.
in the bracket. So I kind of want to see that happen. I want RJ Gaming to move forward. I want to see that face off against AFR.
Right, and that is something that we have been talking about in the back end, yeah, on the behind the scenes, right? That AS40's Regis, and I've said this as well on the UCS that after winter tournament they have been going the downhill situation for them because their tournament results wasn't really going up anymore after the winter tournament, but they have been
Yep.
practicing a lot behind the scenes. Unfortunately, their tournament is wasn't showing the results, but getting 2-0 against RJ Gaming, arguably one of the best teams in APAC, is
Yeah.
definitely a huge statement. Although unfortunately they lost against Renaissance 2-1 on the upper bracket, they are now currently hanging on the thread over at the losers bracket. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this?
Well, I think AFR, even though they were going downhill, they went back to the drawing
Mm-hmm.
board. They trained really hard, and finally they are back. And as what you said, they're actually showing lots of results in this tournament. So hopefully it would translate more. Hopefully they get into the grand finals later on. So we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I
Right.
think during the AOS Cup, there was a very significant style being played, right? It was that
Mm-hmm.
Greninja in the central area that RJ Gaming Shindesu really capitalized on. And AFR, maybe they weren't feeling super comfortable with that. We were still seeing different strategies coming out. But now with the recent patches, that's kind of how it is with Pokemon Unite, right? With the different kind of rotating set of Pokemon
Mm-hmm.
that define the meta, I think now it's completely different. So I want to see what each team is piloting because this will be one of our first major tournaments on this new patch.
Right. And speaking of being one of the major tournaments, I guess, all of our viewers right now, everyone is waiting for this game to start. So without
Mhm.
further ado, for now, we have to say goodbye to Moonboy. We'll be back with you later on. But for now, it's going to be me and Permasneeze on our game. So here we go, guys. We are just waiting for them, as you can see on our screens. They are currently just waiting for the signal to start. I think they
I believe
are
to
just
start we have
starting.
Renaissance and no Lucario, right?
Yeah, it is Nolo Cario versus
Ooh.
Renaissance, so it's really gonna
Singapore
be
special,
amazing.
Singapore special.
It is going to be a Singapore special. So here we go. They are starting in the game. So I guess let's proceed into the game now.
Yeah, okay, cool. So we're gonna have some picks come out. I think most significant thing for me, I've been watching the brackets develop and those screenshots of the final, because after these teams play, they got a screenshot to send who won and all that. A curious large amount of Dragonite coming out. A lot of Dragonite. That's not exactly what I was expecting, to be honest. What do you think about this Pokemon? Yeah, okay, so here's the thing, right? Dragonite in this current patch didn't receive the most obvious changes. A lot of Pokemon got a few tweaks in terms of their skills, and their moves, how they work. Dragonite just straight up got an attack buff, so a little bit of a stat buff. But that kind of goes to show how these small tweaks can really go a long way. It's coming from a Pokemon that basically faded completely out of the meta that was used in the score composition to, the Hyper Beam objective secure. Now is back, and it's so highly contested that they're literally running the same thing. I think in the earlier tournaments as well, I think especially for the NAEU May finals that we got to see, Serena was a really highly contested pick, so not surprised with any of these picks coming out, except maybe for the Dragonite. Yeah, he has a little bit, it's so cute, he has a little bit of a, what, is that a sparring helmet? I guess it has to be, right? But yeah, I haven't seen that one before. I don't really see these Pokemon with the outfits. It's nice to see the pre-evolutions getting some love as well, as we kick off the first game between this Singapore special, No Lucario versus Renaissance, up in this game number 1. A bit of a difference in philosophy already coming out. They're running mirror drafts, but look at the top side. It's actually the Serena, or rather the Steenie, being left alone. Rebounds is up there playing by himself, while Solo has the support of the Koopa. So the one of them, the whole point of this Serena is you want to get in those early dunks to stack that attack weight in typical top half fashion. But because of the lack of support in this top half, Rebounds having a bit of trouble with that. But now bringing two people up here with the hyperspace ult to catch them by surprise here. Solo gonna get the brunt end of that one, but manages to rapid spin away. Oh. Huge move coming out there for No Lucario. I feel like, it was looking kind of all Kamiru again, right? I think in the old days of Renaissance, it was always Kamiru playing that Dragonite who managed to get that level 8 first and make the difference. Cutting him down there is so important, especially for the side of No Lucario. They come out there on top, they take down Yang as well, and those are two of the main attackers of Renaissance nullified in one fell swoop. Yeah, I think this is just the Kamiru special, right? He literally went down, but he's still hitting level 8 earlier than the No Lucario Central Area Dragonite. So this is just, he knows something about this Pokemon that everyone else really doesn't. I think that's just about it. But yeah, still, relatively remaining some or at least holding some sort of parity as we get into this first Dreadnought. That's where the Hyper Beam secure is going to be so important. I think when Dragonite was in the meta, it was all about chaining those skills with your opponents and with your teammates, and that's going to be so important now for this fight. Ah! Oh, a bit of a weird one. So, you know, earlier on I was saying this Dragon Knight, it's not just about the Hyper Beam anymore, right? You need to kind of chain that along with your teammates' moves. They perfectly timed that along with the Storms coming out from Solo to secure that Dreadnought. From there, they split up. It looked like Renaissance had the advantage, but really Solo was behind them, getting a fat dunk the whole time, just loops back around and takes them out. So overall, really huge advantage going the way of Lucario at this current moment. Oh, Dev actually getting popped out of that hyperspace hole because of the 8-bomb. Nice play coming out from the Renaissance Blissey there, but overall doesn't manage to net them any sort of KO whatsoever. KUMU able to secure that Rotom with the Hyper Beam, which is what we come to expect from this man. And yeah, I mean, things are still looking pretty even so far. Both teams just kind of pushing at each other. And Solo, you know, he went in, looked like he was going to get a nice few storms to start, but then gets immediately taken down by the 4 members. Ooh! Ooh! The dance isn't enough for him to get out. Yeah, nice stuff from Solo. Oh! No, I actually think it was no Lucario that secured that Dreadnought. I'm pretty sure they managed to do it because I just want to point out immense play coming out from Solo there. He kind of got caught out earlier on by that Pikachu. The Pikachu popped the Thunderstorm, but that Serena just using the Queen's Ascendant just to dodge out the entirety of the duration of the Thunderstorm, surviving and allowing that Hoopa to clean up Yang. So just nullifying a large part of the fight. No Lucario, they're just really outplaying their opponents right now. Yeah, that's for sure. I think Renaissance, you know, they need to kind of get the... I mean, it doesn't really matter for this Rotom just because it's going to go into a tier 1 anyway. But it's a nice chunk of EXP and KUMU is going to be the one to secure it. Wraith, caught in a bit of a bad way, going to get taken down. And now it's time to signal the retreat. Renaissance, they need to get out, but KUMU wants to go in. But yeah, that's just a Draco Impact just to scare them a bit. They're still trying to surge forward though. They want to pressure up with this Rotom, but they aren't able to get their hands on 31. Might be KST who gets bumped back by a nice egg bomb. Rebounds with the kick as well, but the Hyper Beam...
Hyperspace hole.
Oh, yeah,
great
just
timing.
narrow
Great
reset.
timing. Great timing with the
Nice stuff
hyperspace
coming
hole,
out from
definitely.
Renaissance.
Now, at least they were able to defend that Rotom away, and from here on out, I think they just need to secure the top path rather, so that they can, you know, essentially have more pressure going against Renaissance into the Zapdos, you know, moving over into the Zapdos.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely want to break open this top half goal now, just because there's no real reason to leave it up anymore. Like, at this point, it's 40 seconds left. Even if the bees spawn a bit closer to your opponents, it's not that big of a deal. The last thing you want is letting them have some sort of a rallying point to commit together or you know, stand firm together for that final stretch fight, right? Rebounds starting off this Dreadnought at this point, but the whole side of no Lucario coming to play.
Oh my goodness, here he goes. Solo gonna try to take it in, but it's gonna be Dev gonna be able to secure this. All they need to do now is get away, but that's gonna be 2 down. 2-1 trade off here in favor of Renaissance, despite them not taking the Dreadnought. I think that is still huge. That was a Dreadnought. Sorry, that was the Dragonite that was taken out.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be on the sidelines for a little bit as this final stretch is about to start off. Ooh, Ice and the rest of the squad need to get that reset, and they do. Through to the hyperspace hole and back into the fight. There's the Queen's Ascender, but there's the Thunderstorm being popped. Yang is going to survive this fight, but there's the Rings Unbound as well. 2 down from the side of Renaissance already, and they're dropping like flies. They don't have much else to offer, and Renaissance, even though they have the start of the fight advantage, they are looking to lose it. Rebounds trying to answer back, but it's not enough. And Solo is the winner of it all. Takes down 4. NT is the last one remaining, but what can he do here? Could be a nice egg bomb.
Egg bomb,
steal.
no, not quite enough.
No, not enough at all.
Mhm.
As NL, they're able to take that Zapdos fight, and now they're definitely going for the double dubs.
Right, but look at this. Solo seems like they're not going to be able to score in here, but unfortunately, with the help of the with the help of the
Drop kick?
Yeah, drop kick. There we go. Was able to get in. So amazing.
And another one. Not even stopping. Gets Yang as well. Unfortunate for that Pikachu. As Serena finally gonna go down, but it's not before the side of no Lucario just empty out their
Oh,
pockets.
wow.
Ooh. I
You
haven't
get
seen that one
teleported
before.
while dying.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Yang. But I don't think he's too sad about that, right? He got the points. He's back to base. At least return him to his home.
Right, at this point on, at the very least, Team Renaissance here still has, a minute left. So that's quite a huge time for them to try to score in back against Team No Lucario. But they're, oh my goodness, are they going to be able to score in? No, Ice was fortunately stopped here by Yang. But if they're not going to be able to score in quickly by now, I don't think they could, I don't think they could score in with enough time.
Yeah, I mean, 25 seconds left on the clock, and they're pulling out all the stops here. Renaissance, they pop the rings unbound. They want to bring everyone to this top side. So that's going to be a clear signal for the no Lucario defenders as well. This is where they need to be. KST going to open the portal himself and bring the rest of the squad. There's the Hyper Beam cutting down one, cutting down another, and 2 down, 3 down. KO streak of 3 for Wraith as he just wipes them all out. Ice just chilling.
They're just playing.
Chilling, bro. He's just chilling right in front of Yang. He knows he's won this. And no Lucario, they go up 1-0 against their Singaporean counterparts.
Yeah, they were just playing.
Yeah, at that point they knew
playing
they
by
had won. They
that
just
point.
played a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, hey,
Yeah,
by the way, guys, thank you for telling me that I was muted for half.
Oh, were you
half
actually?
the game? Unfortunately.
Wait, were you?
It's fixed now.
What the
Apparently, I was
okay.
muted on stream. It
yikes.
wasn't until later that I was able to find out. But thank you very much for letting us know it's now fixed. And for those who aren't familiar as well, we actually have 3-minute delay here, so that there wouldn't be any stream sniping whatsoever.
sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that entire game for me, the story of that just went back to the early stage, right? I think they gave their Serena a lot more support than Rebounds. So Rebounds was struggling, even though they made a couple of convincing moves, and even though Kamiru was able to kind of get that level advantage first, he didn't manage to convert it in any sort of meaningful way. And because of that, I feel like Solo was just able to stomp, and just get away with everything. So yeah, really nicely played from the side of NL. I think they really just outmaneuvered their opponents.
Right. What do you think should Renaissance do here? Going against No Lucario for game number 2, for them to be able to adjust to them and perhaps go to game number 3.
I mean, it's just like what I said, right? Just bring the Hoopa up to top side, even out the score, make it a player diff situation. So once you get it down to the wire where it's just these exact mirror matchups, then there's no real external factors that can come into play, right? I think Rebound still managed to do a decent job in terms of holding the fort on the top side by himself, but there's only so much you can do 1v2, especially when you're against world-class players like No Lucario.
Yeah, and again, it's more of a, as you mentioned, it's all they want to do here is to make it a player diff because they're playing the same team anyway. Perhaps we might be able to see, Renaissance playing a different set of team as well, a different set of Pokemon going over against No Lucario, because honestly, they were kind of eaten up there from the early game going into the late game. Yes, they were able to answer back against No Lucario, but at the end of the day, No Lucario had a lot of advantage against Renaissance that Renaissance wasn't able to just bounce back, against them.
I think the biggest difference for me was that I feel like the Pikachus, right? The Pikachus, it's quite straightforward for everyone in the team. Like, the Pikachu just wants to stand beside the supports and play safe, throw out that bit of damage. But it's always the Serena's job to get into that back line where the 3 of them are banded up together and try and cause as much chaos as possible. It really comes down to the fact that, these Serenas, we kind of need to see them find an angle into the fight where they won't get disrupted as much. There's a lot of times, it's exactly what we talked about with one of those instances where the Serena, waited out the Thunderstorm to use her own Unite move. It kind of is that tender game where it's like, who's going to fire the first bullet, right? Because once you kind of make that initial maneuver, the counter Unite move is the one that's going to take the cake.
Right, and let's find out though if if RNS is going to be able to adjust here against No Lucario. Again, these are arguably the best teams, I'd have to say the ones at the top of the food chain here in APAC. That's no Lucario for you, and they showed us how they are able to, how they are able to go against RNS, and RNS here is actually one of the top teams as well in APAC. But these guys being able to play with each other, being able to scream with each other, they pretty much know what the other could bring to the table. So
Yeah.
it's really gonna be an interesting match. How RNS is gonna be able to adjust against No Lucario go into game number 2. Because if not, then we're gonna be seeing No Lucario go up into the grand finals, and RNS is gonna be waiting in line for the losers finals.
Yeah, JJ, I heard when you said screaming, I heard screaming, and I'm like, yeah, they definitely do a
screaming,
lot of that.
screaming.
I don't know. Yeah, so let me just give you some insight, right? Because I of course I'm part of the Singaporean community as well, and I know these teams since like the very start of the Pokemon Unite Singapore community here in Singapore. These guys, even though they're on different sides of the coin right now, all of them have played with each other before. There isn't a single player on either one of these teams that isn't familiar with one another. They've had their own quarrels, they've had their own beefs, they've had their own, so it's more than just a kind of loser, or rather, it's more than just a match here. Every single time these two teams go up against each other, there's a huge amount of pride on the line as well, because they want to be like, oh, I was right when it comes to this situation, or at least, we are the better team. There's a reason why, it didn't work out with you. So, I mean, NL and Renaissance, they go way back all the way to the start. There's a lot of beef and a lot of, a lot of history there. But of course, we're gonna get to see it in the form of beautiful, beautiful Pokemon.
Yeah, and here we go. It looks like both of them are actually running in the same teams again. Okay, let me just put in the score here for Renaissance, for No Lucario. Sorry. There you go.
No worries. One-man production, JJ. Everyone show some love to JJ. He's doing the observing, he's running the stream, he's casting at the same time.
TOing.
He's TOing as well. I think he's handling the back end. So yeah, if you have any complaints, message him on. No, I'm kidding. Don't message him on Discord. There's no way he's gonna be able to answer back. But like you said, same compositions coming out, and I think key difference for me is Focus Band being run on solo, and Rebongs is running that Razor Claw instead. So we were talking about the Serena diff, and that could be one of the small little bits of the key differences that really makes or breaks what
really makes everything. I'd have to say, if you want to be more aggressive, then yeah, sure, go for the a Quick Claw. Razor Claw, sorry, not Quick Claw. Razor Claw. But if you want more sustainability, then yeah, go for the go for the Focus Band. But as we saw earlier, definitely that
I mean, it sort of reflects as to how the teams ended up orientating them, right? They left Rebounds alone, so kind of preempting that he'll be in a bit more trouble and need that survivability. That's where he kind of went for the Focus Band. Whereas Solo, I believe it is Solo. Is it Solo or is it Ice? I think it's Ice. Yeah, Ice on that opponent's arena. Oh no, it's Solo. I'm completely wrong. Yeah, Solo on that opponent's arena. He knows that he has to back out KST in this top half, so he's like, I can afford to do a bit more damage on my Razor Claw.
And here we go. The same Pokemon from both of the teams here, Renaissance and No Lucario. If No Lucario wins this game, then they are moving on to the grand finals. If not, then we're going to be proceeding to game number 3. Let's find out what's going to happen here after Boss is soloing the top lane. And it's going to be 2-1-2 situation here for No Lucario.
Yeah, I mean, once again, same orientation, right? They didn't really think that it was that big of an issue because Rebound still managed to get out of that situation scot-free. But because of that, they're doing a 2, or at least, yeah, they're only running 2 people here in this bot side for No Lucario. But Renaissance, I kind of need them to either get an advantage in this bot. I kind of need to see them get an advantage in this bot path, right? Because they're sort of catering more resources there instead.
Yeah, and here you go. As you can see, it looks like Dev here, as the jungler of No Lucario, is trying to first, go up top so they can provide a lot of pressure, especially for a solo laner here. But it looks like Ice is going to be taken out here. Dev here trying to get away as well. But with the help of the hyperspace hole, at the very least, they were able to try to get some, escape as well against Renaissance. They're not going to be able to be taken down. But look at this. I think they're getting a little bit greedy here, that they want to take this one up. But fortunately for the Blissey, they were able to get back quickly with the hyperspace hole. But I still think that was a little bit too greedy of No Lucario.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad because one of these Pikachus is level 4 and one isn't, with the thunder coming out from Wraith on no Lucario, he was able to just force back the entire side of Renaissance, even though they were outnumbered. And ooh, the Serena diff once again coming in. They're gonna get the solo kickoff on the other Serena.
I actually thought that Solo was going to be able to 3v1
Yeah,
that.
same. I was like, yo, what? He's about to turn this around, but then I'm like, oh, okay.
That would have been a huge highlight. That would have been a huge
back
highlight.
to reality. Back to reality.
Reality
even
check,
with
my
the-
dudes.
Yeah, even with the help of KST, wasn't able to just because they kind of got outnumbered, right? So things looking a bit more tempered for Renaissance here, but I still do worry
Oh,
about
Solo's
the
getting
top
taken out
side.
again.
Ooh. Yeah,
Ooh, they're
Solo, a
really
bit
targeting
too-
Solo now.
Yeah, a bit too big for his britches. I mean, they kind of didn't make the adjustment early on, but they knew that, you know, we're still gonna bring on the cavalry in this top side and really put on the pressure. Now they're bringing rebounds to the bot side. They want to punish Ray for coming a bit too far forward, and now rebounds is the Serena that is unchecked, just running all across the map. There's the hyperspace hold, bringing the rest of the squad down to the bot side as they want to contest
They
this
have
first
to.
set. Yeah, this
The
set-
Dreadnoughts
second
could be
set,
coming
sorry.
out now.
Okay, I mean,
wow.
Dev has hit that level 8, but Camiro's still struggling a bit far
They're
behind
like level
Solo.
9 now.
Yeah, Solo gonna get the cut down onto the Blissey as well, so already a bit of a disadvantage. It looks like the side of Renaissance, they're just gonna give this one up and concede
Going
this
into the top
Dreadnought.
lane.
Yeah, they want to just go to the top side, but there's the hyperspace hold, bringing the rest of the squad up. What can they do here?
Yeah, I mean, I still think that they have a lot of time here to, you know, catch up going into this Rotom, but it looks like at the right timing, you know, Camaro was able to take that Rotom away, but at to what cost?
No!
I think the cost is their own HP, and now Rebonx is doing their best to try to get some KOs, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the case here, as Rebonx is almost going to be taken out. Yes, they are going to be taken out as well. It's going to be 2 for non-trade here in favor of no Lucario.
Yeah, Dev really putting the carry fence on this game. Ooh, okay, Camiro swoops back into bot side. He could get a double here if he's not careful. Solo double chop kick out. Ooh, the hyper beam not gonna be in time. Just I like that from Camiro, baiting the dunk a little just to pull Solo back in, but he has the citrus berries available and the double stop.
almost get
the
KO'd.
triple and knocks out Camiro.
Where are you going,
who's
Young?
baiting
Young,
who?
where are you
Yeah,
going?
where you
Here
going?
comes the grassy
Drop kick,
glide.
baby.
Woo!
Oh, Solo turns up the heat over here.
You know, Solo is
Camiro.
essentially saying, you know, you can call the ambulance, you know, call the ambulance, but not for me getting you 2 KOs in the process.
Yeah, I mean, Solo, he kind of got tamed a little bit in that top path early on, but still putting on the heat in this bot path now with the engagement being a bit more scattered. He knows that they aren't bringing enough people here to stop him, and he's just exerting his pressure.
Yeah, there's gonna be 3 Pokemon though, but on the top path, it looks like Dev here and Ice is looking to try to overcapping 31 points onto the first score goal, but not going to be enough though, not enough time for them to score in that last 40. I think what they want to do here is them getting into level 12 so that they can have 50 points, you know, to overcome even more into that of the top path, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. No, not quite, but going into that of the bottom path though, let's find out who's going to be able to take this Dreadnought. I think I like what Nolokari is doing here. They're just allowing Dev here to, you know, secure this Dreadnought, and the rest is just repelling away the enemy team. But look at that, Blitz Assistance is going to be used here as well. They're going to be able to secure that Dreadnought as well. But are they going to be able to punish Nolokario? That is the big question here. But no, Rebonx is going to be the one that is punished, and they are going to have a huge overcap as well into that at the bottom pad if they can score in. But Hyperspace Hole just to recover some health.
Sick play coming out from Ice on that DC. I don't know if you caught that, but just running around the fight, being such a disturbance with those egg bombs, just constantly tossing them out, and the Blitz assistance just in time forced that.
Wasted a thunderstorm.
Dude, I think this Blissey is really just like I think that Blissey MVP of that fight, because actually baited rebounds in on that Serena, and at the last moment popped the Blitz assistance to keep Dev alive, and then Dev was able to turn back, fire away a Hyper Beam, and cut down that Serena. Now, who's gonna get this Rotom? Being kicked back, rebounds is gonna drop, and it's gonna be no Lucario to claim it. Like you said, Mevius, he popped the Rings Unbound for this. This is not what you want from your Hoopa Rings Unbound, and just like that, Yang forced the scatter. That's the Volt Tackle in, and the Draco.
That's all of them.
Yeah, right on top of them. That's a team wide. I mean, Wraith. Oh,
unfortunate. That's kind of unfortunate, dude. You don't want to be on an area where everyone's jumping in towards that. And just like that, at 41 points, goes down the drain.
Oh, solo? Solo? No way! Solo already too! That's a 3v... That's a 1v5 situation. There's no way he gets out that one! That's the grassy glide! No way! No way!
Oh, okay. I like this. I like this.
Oh my
Got 4
God.
KO. Got 4 KO. I
What
like
the-
that Solo wasn't too greedy. He know for a fact, okay, this is everything that I could get. That's it. I don't want to waste.
No,
everything.
that he just hit the jackpot. I don't know. They all lined up nicely for him with those stops. I
Right?
think he'll be very happy with himself on that one. And I mean, no Lucario, as if you needed to know which Serena is better. One of them is 3 levels above the other. And his name is
Oh
Solo.
my goodness, that was great.
That was sick, dude. That was so sick. And I mean, I think you take a look at the points, it really reflects nobody on the side of Renaissance has really been able to penetrate the side of no Lucario, right? And now they're just gonna get this Dreadnought easily as well. And he tried for the steal with the 8 bomb, but that is just a bit of a hopeful one.
Right, and look at this. Kamira is going to be taken out as well. You know, I was actually looking towards, Renaissance earlier in the early game, thinking that they, marking down Solo with the Serena. I thought that they are going to be able to, like, maintain that, and get that, use that as a capital for the lead, towards the end game. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But at the very least, at the very great timing, they were able to take down 3, and it is no Lucario having the number disadvantage into the Zapdos fight.
Yeah, they're gonna have to secure this one with the Hyper Beam, but it's not gonna be in time. Like you said, I mean, the entire time rebounds, he answered right there.
That's 3
He don't wanna
down.
be outdone. Yeah, I mean, 3 down right now. They kind of need to scatter and get these dunks in. Can Yang make it to the goal zone? There's the Blitz to stop him, but the safeguard actually stops that Kindras from coming through. Now the rest of the side of Lucario, they have the Hail Mary dunk, but they're still in the lead here. Renaissance, they didn't actually manage to get a lot of an advantage from that Zapdos. So no Lucario, they're not scared at all. I'm pretty sure they're still very comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, at this point on, even when Renaissance was able to take in, the Zapdos, it wasn't enough for them, it's not going to be enough for them to score in, as there's still a lot of time here, especially, and they can just score in back away from Renaissance,
Yeah, I think the story of that fight is just that, I mean, we're like, oh man, they managed to take down 3 and they're gonna get this Zapdos, right? But I mean, you're still staring up against a level 15 Dragonite on dev. This man has been putting on a clinic this entire game, and he's not looking to stop now. There's the Draco Impact just to wipe down his counterpart as well, and they're still chasing forward. The Blitz Assistance out.
And this is going to be taken out as well.
Yeah, and he's gonna drop, and the Pikachu just has to run away. Doesn't have an option here, and they're still chasing Serena on the other side of the map. But this doesn't even matter. Look at Ice, just popping it straight into the goal zone. Nicely done. And just like that, it looks like NL. They're just gonna completely outclass Renaissance here. 2-0. They make it look simple. We were gassing both these teams up. We're like, yo, these guys, they are like rivals. They always go blow for blow, but it doesn't feel like Renaissance has much in the tank for this series.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it, it's pretty much game here. Nola are going to be winning this one up. There's not enough time and not enough score as well for the side of Renaissance for them to get back up against Lucario. So it looks like we're going to be seeing Lucario moving up into our grand finals. Whereas Renaissance, they can still go back, they can still come back from the, they can still come back from the lower bracket should they win the losers finals. And here we go. Some battle data as well that we'd want to, we want to see this.
I think I want to take a look at the moveset. Can we take a look at that?
Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, both these Serenas actually opted for, it looks like, what is the Grassy Glide? Am I right? Yeah, it is the Grassy Glide instead. So I think earlier on we saw some Chop Kicks come out, but the Grassy Glide and the Shield actually allowing that extra bit of survivability that has made such a significant difference, right?
Right. And, what's really interesting here is you can see how they were really targeting early, as I mentioned, they were really targeting Solo, but fortunately for No Lucario, they were able to get in a lot of, they were able to get in a lot of great timings and a lot of opportunities for Solo to go back, to bounce back going against Renaissance. And we saw how Solo played earlier to 4v5, getting
that was
2 KOs.
That's a highlight.
Almost
sure,
KO'd. Right? Dude.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, I'm really excited to see this just because of the fact that I'm like, man, this is a whole new patch, right? Like, we're starting to see so many new things. How often do you see like 9 out of 10 people in a lobby get X speed? Like the
Mm-hmm.
only person who wasn't running X speed is Kamiro on his Dragonite with the full heal. It didn't really pan
Yeah.
out for him, but is X speed the new meta, JJ?
I mean, we've seen that a lot on AOS Cup. Obviously, to give the Pokemon more mobility, and definitely Sarina is one of the Pokemon that you want a lot of mobility with, especially if
For
you
sure.
want to get in on your Pokemon. So definitely after the huge buff here for the X Speed, definitely a lot of people already started using X Speed. Hopefully, we might be able to see more of that in the regional championships. On AOS Cup, there wasn't a lot except for a few Sylveons here and there,
Yeah,
but
it's just the Sylveon
regionals.
to get in position, right, for the Hyper
Yeah,
Voice.
with the hyper voice, but I think on regionals, I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of X speed users.
For sure. I mean, that just about wraps up our series. It was a bit of an anticlimactic one. I feel like I was expecting a bit more heat coming out from Renaissance, but it is a bit scary, right? Because right now, after this concludes, no Lucario, like you said, they're going to the grand finals to wait. But even if Renaissance kind of fight their way back up, they still kind of have to figure out, they were basically playing a mirror matchup that entire time. They're gonna have to try and figure out something out of the bag because they tried to
Yeah.
focus down solo. It didn't work. So what's next? What's next in the bag of tricks?
Yeah, it definitely didn't work out, but they are still waiting on the lower bracket finals. Definitely gonna be battling one more Pokemon, right? Sorry, one more team before
Yeah.
they can go back to the grand finals if they win that one. And they would not only have to think about how to counter no Lucario, but also would need to. This is going to be a distraction, but going to need to think of a way to defeat the next team, the next team that they will be facing off before they can go back to the grand
Do
finals.
we have that available? Actually, let me pull up the. I'm not
Here
sure
we
whether it's updated already. Oh, nice, nice. Don't. Yeah, nah, I won't trouble myself. I won't trouble myself. Is this still okay? So it's still ongoing, right? It hasn't completed yet. It looks like that's what. RJ versus Reach, or is that over already? Okay, so now it's RJ versus AFR, right?
There you go. You can now hear me again. As we all know, best of ones only on the lower bracket, right? We only have best of one on the lower bracket. Except for the losers finals, which is going to be a best of three. So next up on our stream, we'll have loser semifinals, which is RJ Gaming and AOS for the Regis. With the best of one before we head into the losers finals. Obviously, on the losers finals is already waiting here. Renaissance that we just the game that we just saw. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all of that juicy Pokemon action is gonna be right with you after a short break, right? I'm gonna tap out later on, and I believe it's gonna be JJ and Moonboy bringing you.
No,
the
it's gonna be
action
you
later.
and Moonboy.
Is it me? I'm not tapping out.
You're not tapping out.
Okay,
You want to tap out?
Best
No,
of,
you're not tapping
no,
out.
best of one, baby. I'm
No,
all good. Cook me
you're
up
not- you're
some.
not
Cook
tapping
me
out,
up some
dude.
Pokemon Unite. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, dude. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll just set up the next game, and when we finish setting up the next game, we'll immediately go back to the next game. So don't go anywhere. Just stay tuned right here, only on my Twitch. It's JJ.
Just send
Start
it to him,
GG
man.
launch league. I don't know how to end this, so just stay, okay? Just stay.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Start.gg launch league for the Pokemon Unite side. My name is Moonba. I'm joined by Perma Sneeze. And how are you doing, my friend?
I just casted a game. I don't know. You were on the sidelines. I should ask you how you're doing, my friend.
Yo, that was a really intense winner brackets finals, right? Like Singapore versus Singapore, and
Okay, no, you can't just get away with saying whatever. That was not intense at all. I feel like NL just kind of gave him a little bit of a whoop and a kick on the backside. I don't know what happened there. I expected a bit more punch coming out from Renaissance, but they just didn't pack it today. I think, hopefully they do rise their way up to the top. I think both of us are used to watching the Singapore special, but of course, those aren't the only teams that we have on the table today.
Yeah, that is exactly right. So Singaporean teams aside, so next up we got RJ Gaming going up against AFR, two of the best team, two of the best team of the region, right? RJ Gaming, we have seen them around since AOS Cup. They have been surprising us again and again and again. So likely they will be putting up a great show for us against AFR later on.
Yeah, I think we were really talking about this AFR return arc, right? Because they had a bit of a rough time ever since Winter Cup. They were so dominant back then, sort of fell off a little bit. But like JJ said, they've been practicing really hard behind the scenes, and I can't wait to see what they've cooked up.
Yep, exactly. This is their redemption arc here, right? Yeah, so like, having a downfall, but this is their redemption. They're here to make their name for themselves once again and maybe have a good footing or even a good start moving straight into regionals pretty soon as well. So these two teams is going to square off. It's going to be neck to neck as we're moving straight right to the Pix phase.
Yeah, so in that earlier game, right, we saw basically mirror lineups coming out. Emphasis on the Serena as well as the Dragonite. I'm interested to see what these Pokemon, what Pokemon that these two teams prioritize, because we kind of saw them come into dominance at different eras. For AFR, it was back when the Scorecom was a thing. We saw Greedent coming out from them. That was a real special coming out from AFR that I remember. And for Shingdesu, on that Lucario, of course, how can we forget? Not Lucario, sorry. Greninja, of course, throughout the entire AOS Cup. That was their bread and butter. But yeah, so don't mind it, ladies and gentlemen. I believe, yep, right there, JJ on the track. He already knew what I was about to say. But yep, RJ Gaming on the right side and AFR on the left side. Both opting for this Venusaur in the central area.
Yep, so we're gonna see lots of tankiness coming in from both sides, especially with a Venusaur stack together with a Blissey. But however, AFR went with a very interesting Cameron pick right over here. Likely we might be seeing a central area Cameron coming in. We have seen this in the NA May Cup finals as well. This is gonna be really interesting for what AFR is gonna be cooking for us.
Yeah, dude, I love Cameron. I think the Dive Hurricane build is so underlooked. Like, Dive is such a ridiculous bit of mobility and gives you a booster auto, which Cameron can't get enough of course. But I'm interested to see how it's going to stack up against Ikura on that Sylveon, right? It's a lot more traditional, minus the Venusaur, of course. They have those constant bursts of damage coming out from the Venusaur Petal Dance as well as the Hyper Voice. Now, I'm interested to see whether this is still going to be a Petal Dance Venusaur or a Solar Beam, because that got a buff recently. But now we're going to get game one, and it's basically the only game. This is the best of one of AFR versus RJ Gaming. Both of these teams have only one chance to move on to the losers line.
You're exactly right, Permasnee. So this is a win and into the loser bracket finals. One loss, one little slip, and you're out of the game. And one little mistake, you could just cost you the whole game right here and now. So it's likely gonna see a 2-1-2 coming in. We are not like unfamiliar with this, but on the top side is gonna be a Serena going up against a Lucario, which is gonna be interesting, right? Because Serena recently got a huge buff from the recent patch.
Yeah, I think a bit of a role switch as well. Ikura actually piloting that Sylveon in the central area, while Shingdesu is actually playing that attacker Bulbasaur in the bot side. Usually we see some of these teams optimize it to a very high degree where the central area Pokemon and experience is just split, right? You get that Sylveon up to level 4, then you immediately put them in whatever lane you feel is best, and then one of these other Pokemon step in to switch around and take their place and get that EXP. But no such thing coming up from RJ.
Yep, I think it might be just Sylveon strictly on the central area, or alternatively there's another way of putting the Bulbasaur, even Venusaur into the central area. Get that extra EXP, get the Venusaur to 9 so that you could get a lot more out of that one Pokemon. But here we have the first set of Bees, and it seems like AFR on the bottom side is having a commanding lead with that Cameron.
Yeah, I mean, AFR, they kind of repeat that advantage in the top side as well. They bring that Ivysaur to the top half, and they're able to strike down Giraffe on his Lucario in the top half.
Yep, and look at this. If this Kramer already holding 30 points in his pocket, that means he's getting a lot of EXP off himself as well. He's already at level 5. So Shindesu has no choice but to head to the central area to just take a little bit off in the legendary's pit. But it's RJ Gaming have to try to get their levels up in the bottom side, because level 6 on the Venusaur is live for AFR as well. So that's gonna be really scary if RJ Gaming want to keep this up.
Well, RJ Gaming, they're trying to go for a cute little maneuver here to steal away the blue aura on that Ludicolo. They don't manage to get it in time though, but Ray and Ikura actually opt to come back. They could be in a spot of bother here if they're not careful, but they're the ones putting out the pressure. They grab a Citrus Berry as well, and now it's Schwan the one in a little bit of a pickle. That's the Astonish, and there is the Hyperspace hole right on top, the eject button as well, just to get themselves out to safety. So Heist succeed.
Yep, I actually love this maneuver coming in from RJ Gaming, right? Just denying as much EXP away from AFR, but unable to do so, going down to a 3v1 situation. A Sylveon is not exactly great in a team, like, this kind of pickle, right? So, immediately going straight right down, and that didn't really bring them back too much, but, take a look at this. Level 7 on the Venusaur is going to be really scary for AFR.
Yeah, I mean, the crucial bit is Shingdesu has also hit that level 7, being able to farm up and has made his way through this top half to try and contest as well. He's against Miva with the double storms though. Oh no, that is not a good look. The Ivysaur, Schwa definitely getting a bit of an advantage and inching closer and closer to that level 9, where the Verdant Anger is going to play a huge part in this Dreadnought fight. They're still running forward. It is the Petal Dance after all, and Lucia going to get knocked out. Dreadnought paid actor just gonna be able to take down the RJ Gaming side. They're able to get through the hyperspace portal on Ikura, so keeping that Sylveon up and running, but they come straight back into a hurricane. Both teams tussling around the Dreadnought for now. Giraffe is gonna drop to the deck, and who's gonna grab it? I believe it's AFR with Miva, with the storms available, and now Schwa is on that big bad Venusaur, just running them down, slapping them with the vines, and Shingdesu is gonna be the one suffering. The whole squad getting a reset and coming back, and they're starting to put on the pressure here, AFR.
Yep, RJ Gaming is just trying to push them back, but unable to do so. AFR is still on the offense right here, taking down Giraffe in the process. Look at this, Miva getting the Bliss Assist, and Queen Ascendance coming in as well. Ikura is in a big trouble, and AFR is just stomping RJ Gaming in the bottom side right now with that Serena. Those resets, those healing is just too much to handle for RJ Gaming.
And the Verdant Anger as well, they're not even done. This is looking kind of like AO's Cup, where, the team takes the advantage in the bot path, and then they just keep rolling forward with it, and there's no better Pokemon to do that than this one you're seeing on your screen. Schwa on that Venusaur, a bit of a visual bug with that recall, animation, but still, he's the one in charge right now for AFR, and he's definitely leading them to a straight path.
Yep, RJ Gaming is losing a little bit side on the EXP department right over here. So, they have to capitalize on the top side, even when AFR is just pushing so aggressively on the bottom side. So RJ Gaming directly their attention straight to the top, but Miwa back to the offense as well, taking one after another. And there we have, Ikura being caught, stomp off on again, but Ikura manages to get out of there alive, and RJ Gaming is not out of this one yet.
Yeah, RJ Gaming, they're still putting on a pretty good fight here. The Unite moves dodging out each other, but Schwa is in action, and now they need to run. How far can they go though? Absolutely nowhere. An egg to finish that one off from them, and RJ Gaming get cleaned up by the arrival of that Venusaur.
Wow, I mean, they took out the Kremlin, right? They took out the Serena. Both of the key attackers have been out. But here comes Schwa with the Venusaur and the Peloton just shredding everybody out. And they finally take that win off the top fight and the top side. Rotom immediately going to the tier 1. And AFR is still dunking straight right on top.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, here comes Rings Unbound. JR absent, trying to bring the rest of the squad in. This could prove a little scary for RJ Gaming if they try and initiate here. The Cameron gonna get collapsed upon and immediately disintegrated. The second one to fall, Serena as well. So like you said, the two attackers are down, but Bliss assistance on the Schwa is trying to clean up, but so is Shingdesu. Shingdesu gets through the portal. That's a huge reset coming out for them, but AFR, they have a reset of their own. The Z-Ray Hoops Unbound Hoopa is still firing away. Schwa is trying to stand strong. Who's gonna come out? This one on top, the two Venusaur butting heads as Dreadnought is still at half HP, but the healing is enough for Schwa. He gets it and cleans up Giraffe. He finally falls, but AFR, Hart, and Miba, they turn back up to the fight and they turn it flat around. AFR reigns supreme in this bot path fight.
Wow, it's definitely that Venusaur doing all the work for AFR down in that fight in the bottom lane. RJ Gaming got two of the best attacker coming in, but unable to stop that Venusaur in time. While he's just stalling so much time while the rest of AFR come back to the fray and manage to just take RJ Gaming out of that one, get that Dreadnought by themselves, immediately scattering out. And RJ Gaming They are in a really bad position, and I'm not sure if they're able to come back off this one. Look at this, Miva already at close to level 13, and it's really difficult to stop such a high level Zarina.
Insanely clutch hyperspace hold coming out from Red Hoopa as well in that fight, right? Getting the reset off when he needed it the most on Shua, allowed him to come back and stay fighting fit. It really took them so long to get them down to that low HP, but after that, he must have bought like what, 30, 45 seconds just standing there, and they just couldn't cut him down. And I mean, we're looking at this man on your screen right here. Giraffe hasn't really had the most successful game on this Lucario, not able to replicate the amount of power that Miva has. And could this be a crucial point in Pokemon Unite history where for once Lucario isn't the premier top power?
Well, actually, you know, the only way to remove Lucario is have someone that's much better than Lucario himself, right? Basically, have that Zarina buffed, and that is exactly what AFR brought it to the finals. But there we go, Miwa going in for the offense as well, but manages to get the Rotom in the process.
Ooh, nice stuff. The Grassy Glide actually being able to kick it back to the clutches of their team, and AFR gonna be able to secure that one.
Wow, I mean, RJ Gaming just... you know, they tried to put up a fight but unable to do so. Like, look at that, you know, Miwa maneuvering that Zarina around, getting that Rotom immediately off, but 20 more seconds till the final stretch. RJ Gaming could still come back off this one, but it's a really tough fight for them.
Yeah, they're like, what, 250 whole points behind? Even if they get the Zapdos, if two of them go down, it's going to be curtains. As we take closer and closer to that final stretch, we need to see an angle coming up from Shindesu. He needs to kind of stand toe-to-toe to that opponent Venusaur. If they catch Miva out to start, this could be huge, but the storm's coming in, and the Queen Ascendant, it's not out just yet, but Miva falling low. They can't get the kids off. They actually port them out. AFR have sent JR Epson straight to the central goal zone of RJ Gaming, and just like that, they scored out 667. What can they do now? Even with the 50 points, it's only 500. It's still a point disparity, and it's not done just yet. JR Epson gets the 80 for himself, and now they're coming back to defend. It could be huge though if they start taking out members of AFR. They need to kind of clean up the rest of the defenders, but they can't even get to the goal zones. Ikura, he's finally gonna dunk one in, but they're only up 300 points. What else can they do? Their time is running out. The slams are there. Giraffe, can he get it? Yes, he can. 300 is still so much to climb back from though, Moon Boy.
My jaw just dropped right there, Permasneeze.
Oh my
sneaky
god.
backdoor right there from that Rings Unbound from AFR was just perfect, right? Yeah, we don't need the Zapdos. We got the lead. We got the additional point. We're gonna put everyone straight right to your central zone and just score everything off our pocket.
Waited till the last moment as well. What, Miva looked like he was about to drop, and then everybody else was like, oh no, RJ Gaming must have been like, yo guys, we're winning the fight. Bam, suddenly disappear from our screen straight into the central area, completely outmaneuvered, pulled their pants down from under them. AFR are back, baby, and they're in style. What was that play?
That was not just style, Permasneeze. That is just full display of, like, you know, dominance right there. Like, that is just pure skill and pure macro right here from AFR.
Yeah, I mean, they do have to defend this last bit, but I doubt they'll have much to stand up to Schwab with. I mean, they get the reset, so this Venusaur, you know, it's under a bit of threat, but this 3v1 is not something we haven't seen him pull off before. He's still getting those Giga Drains off, dodging out, getting the heals. And Lucia and Ikura, they have nothing they can offer up. You get that special defense boost coming up from the Calm Mind, but there's only so much he can do. Just getting cut down by this big bad Venusaur. Schwa turns up to play, and in this best of one with everything on the line, AFR pull a jaw-dropping finish to what was otherwise a dominant game. RJ Gaming, they're gonna fall out of this one and unfortunately tap out of our Start GG launch Pokemon Unite tournament, but AFR, man, they deserve it.
Wow, I mean, Rapson. I think the MVP is Shua, yes, indeed, right? But the biggest play right here is definitely going to be Rapson with that.
Oh, is that how you're going to pronounce it? I kind of went with JR Epson, like Junior
Epson. Okay, Epson, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's he literally lives up to his name, right? Because he literally made everybody absent from the fight, sent them straight into the central area goal zone. That was
we are seeing, like, you know, a mash of, you know, purple and orange in the center. All we see all of a sudden is just
completely disappear. Yeah.
Was there a bug or something? But no, they went to score.
Dude, wait. Look at Schwa's damage. Holy, that is disgusting, dude. Do you see that?
Yo, 135k on a Venusaur. Like, he managed a 1v3 all by himself. What else is there to say about that?
Dude, that is like the combined damage of Shindesu and Giraffe in one Pokemon, by the way. Like, that's not cute. But I mean, yeah, I feel like everybody on the side of AFR, they really played out of their minds. They just kind of completely I don't want to say outmaneuvered, but even in the early stages of the game, right, where they're trying to outmuscle each other in the past, they just kind of held strong. Like that Cameron, he very clearly gapped the Bulbasaur in lane, right? There's only so much you can do against a Hurricane. It's so strong in terms of securing.
Mhm.
And just because of that, Niva as well got off to a hot start, and from there they just couldn't be turned down.
Yeah, like as you said, right? The Cameron literally owned the lane in the early game, and you know he's holding 30 points before the first Dreadnought, or even you know just by the first set of beasts. So you know that means that he has already took up a huge chunk of EXP down in the bottom side, and that actually brought you know RJ Gaming back by a lot, right? And especially in Pokemon Unite these days, the bottom lane is usually the dominant lane, and if you lose the bottom lane hard, it's really hard to come back off that one. And you know this is exactly what AFR showed to us.
Yeah, I think I do have to wonder whether we're already seeing a lot of teams adapt, right? Because we've been watching some of the NA May finals as well, and we're seeing that split of EXP, which we didn't see come out from RJ Gaming, right? Usually when you run this Sylveon along with another attacker who probably needs a bit more EXP, i.e. Venusaur, you kind of want to split up the central area EXP a bit more. You want to kind of let that Sylveon get the level 4 and just start roaming around the map to cause a lot of pressure, while your Venusaur preferably can fall back. But Shingdesu, he was still on the front lines, and because of that, I feel like that severely gimped his ability to get the farm up and get to as high of a relevance as Schwa did. But ultimately, at the end of the day, that wraps up our losers semi-finals. Unfortunately, it's only a best of one, which means RJ Gaming, they're out of this tournament. They're gonna have to tap out early and watch from the sidelines as AFR move forward to the losers finals.
Yep. So you know, RJ Gaming is tapping out early, but guess what, guys? Me and Perma's niece is not tapped out yet because we will be casting the loser bracket finals right after this. You know, it's gonna be tight. It is gonna be a best of 3, so it's not a best of 1, right? So the loser bracket final is gonna be a best of 3, and it's gonna be likely. I think it's AFR going up against Renaissance. So that's gonna be a really interesting game right later on. So you know Renaissance being strong, you know we saw their performance just now as well, but AF taking on AFR, like this is going to be a head-to-head from Singapore going up against, I believe it's going to be Philippines.
Yeah, I mean, I want to believe in Renaissance, but I mean, based off their performance, it's hard to say, right? Because that's the only game that we saw of them so far, and they just kind of got slapped around by No Lucario. So it's unclear whether No Lucario is so far ahead of Renaissance and the rest, or whether Renaissance is like so far behind. You know, like it just it's hard to gauge like which of these teams. Like coming in, we saw AFR kind of dominant as well against RJ Gaming. Of course, RJ Gaming showed a bit more life, but I can't really place. Like, who do you think is going to win this one?
Wow, I honestly speaking, it's 50-50, right? But I like after the display of what but after what AFR showed us just now, I think AFR actually have a great chance. So you know, Renaissance, in order to actually win this composition, likely is going to be, you know, they have to control the what's that blue bird again? The Cramorant.
Come on.
Yeah, so they have to control the Cramorant. So you know, in order to not allow them to snowball as what we've seen previously.
Yeah, I think definitely very interesting draft and composition coming out from the side of AFR. I wonder whether this was just a one-time thing. You know, sometimes you pull out these kind of strategies in the best of one just to surprise your opponents. And I mean, they definitely caught RJ Gaming off guard. But yeah, I mean, Renaissance and No Lucario, they actually opted to play mirror matches. So I wonder whether AFR is going to adapt to that, or which composition is going to have the edge over the other. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that will all come to you after a short break. Of course, my name is Permisnees and Moonboy. I'm joined by Moonboy Gaming, and we're going to be right back for the losers final. Stay tuned. We'll be back after a short break. Catch us there. Welcome back to the Start GG Launch League with me, Permasneeze, as well as Moonboy Gaming. We had a bit of a short loser semifinals earlier on, but thankfully, now we're back to the best of threes, baby. So both of these teams hopefully have a bit more chance to show what they're made of. Moonboy, what do you think of our upcoming matchup?
Wow, I mean, it's AFR going up against Renaissance. You know, AFR really put up a great showing in the previous game, streamed as well. But our Renaissance, you know, not really against NL, but now is their time to redeem themselves. So both teams out for redemption. It's still the redemption arc because you're at the loser bracket.
Yeah, AFR, okay, AFR, they're on the up and up, right? Up and up. I think both of these teams, they're coming back for the redemption arc. Renaissance quite literally need a bit of a renaissance to their old times. I feel like every single time we've watched Renaissance so far, it's been like they're like there, but like it's just that extra bit of an oomph that they're missing, right? I kind of feel like they lost a bit of their flair back in the old days. I think that was when, you know, they all had their Siggies coming out. That's where the Gardevoirs pop out. That's where the Absols come out, and you're like, man, this team owns. And then right now you're just kind of like, man, how did they lose that one? Like, what's going on? Like, Kamiru's 2 levels ahead. How are they losing? You know what I mean? But on the other side, AFR, we haven't seen them a lot so far. But based on what we've seen, they're packing some heat.
Yep, I'm liking it, right? Like, it's not just the heat, but the bird as well, right? With the Cramoran pick, like, I'm in love with that pick, right? Like, we haven't really seen Cramoran running around in SEA or APAC so far.
Sure.
So, but, you know, this great display coming in from AFR, we got a lot to expect coming in, expectations coming in, as if they're going with the bird once again.
Okay, so we had a bit of a poll during the downtime. Okay, we had a cute little situation, and it appears like, I mean, you're only going to hear this after a while because of the delay, unfortunately, but we do need to have that for competitive integrity. Between everybody watching in chat who was active, it looks like 80% of you believe AFR is going to win this one over Renaissance. So we'll see whether 80% of you are correct. But for now, it seems like it's a bit of something similar. Yang is the one picking up that camera now. And Kamiru mousing over that Gardevoir, which, locks it in. A bit of a spicy one coming out from Renaissance for this match.
Yeah, Renaissance might be going in for a little bit of more comfort coming in, right? Having Kamiru back on the Gardevoir, you know, he was one of the best, one of the top Gardevoir in the world as well. But however, AFR coming in with a slightly different composition, right? Having the Decidueye instead of the Cramoran, but Yang instead having the Cramoran on his side. So this is going to be really interesting because, you know, it's going to be different from whatever we have been seeing so far throughout the night.
Yeah, I think Gardevoir is pretty good against Venusaur, right? Because Venusaur, you sort of need to run into the thick of things, and you have your supports trying to be in range for you to back you up. And this Gardevoir, we've seen it be picked before in the face of these ball comps, right? Because you keep them in the ball, that's perfect for your future sights or your psychics or whatever you choose to go for. And Psyshock recently had that buff as well. Now Gardevoir evolves at level 8, which really kind of amplifies the power spike that you get a bit earlier on. So we're gonna have to see how the Gardevoir master himself, Kamiru, tackles this as we get the game number 1 of Renaissance versus AFR. This is the losers finals to decide who is going to the Grands against Nolukaru.
Yep, it's got to be really interesting right here because especially like what you said, Gardevoir has recently got a buff as well. So we haven't really seen Gardevoir around in remote stadium competitively. So this might be one of the few games that we will be seeing Gardevoir going live. But, you know, however, on the bottom side is the Battle of the Birds as well. It's going to be Cramoran going up against the Rowlet. So Cramoran being a basic Pokemon, it might have a much better, you know, early game compared to a Rowlet at this stage.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this about me, Moonboy, but I'm a bit of a bird enjoyer myself. So I do play both of these Pokemon. And I mean, the Cramoran very easily is able to get a lot of those last hits early on, right? So, a bit of a camera situation. JJ, you're right there. Wiggle us around if you're okay.
Wiggle. Okay, so he's okay.
There we go. He's
okay.
fine. All right, back to the action. But like I said, I feel like this Rowlet's gonna have a bit of a rough time getting those last hits earlier on. But Heart still managing to keep parity in terms of level. Ooh, look at that cute little ninja head, man. Do you see that? That's so adorable.
Yeah, that's a really nice holoware coming in for the Decidueye as well. You know, one of the latest one as well, where he's actually a ninja, right? He just poof and he literally recalls back.
Right there, yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean, both of these teams, a relatively quiet early game compared to everything that we've been seeing thus far, right? I feel like earlier on, there was a lot of early game action, just popping back and forth with the early KOs and the dunks, but this one a bit more quiet. Both of these teams just feeding each other out, biding their time here. They don't want to get too over aggressive or too ahead of themselves as a 2v2 in this situation. Rebounds has the early level advantage, but with these Hoopas giving them the free resets, it doesn't really matter unless you can finish them off in one fell swoop.
Yep, Rebounds, immediately going in for the retreat as well because he was pretty low. He should not overstay right at the top side against his opponent. But I think it's still a little bit of back and forth. But we are seeing a little bit of interesting movement coming in from Blissey. He's going straight right to the central area, rotating straight right to the top side. There's and they're gonna bring the numbers game straight right to the top side.
Yeah, I mean, it's still undecided, but Kamiru, he makes that decision to go to the top half because he knows Shua is there. There's the side shots coming out. Ooh, a swing and a slight miss. He expected Shua to walk backwards, but the stun coming out from Moonblast actually not going to be able to send him in the right way. Now, Hart, they have the bit of this space in this bot path to bully back this solo Cameron. That's not very wanted, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so like I said, really, really quiet game so far. Both teams really biding their time. There's not much really to expect at the moment. Yang still holding his own in this bot path as the Cameron, which is what we are used to seeing at this point. That as that 7-minute mark ticks around, we can expect all of them to come to the bot path.
Yep, as the rest of AFR already at the bottom side as well. Yang is already at level 7 compared to the Dartrix currently only at level 6 because Renaissance right here already got that levels advantage. So, they gotta have a little bit of breathing space going up against their opponent as the Gardevoir is already at level 8.
In runs this Shua Venusaur. The double storm's coming out, but Miva, have you gone a bit too far forward? The side shot not enough to finish him off, and the egg to ward them off. But the Hurricane is gonna chop up that Ivysaur. It bought enough space for AFR to secure this first Dreadnought though, so nicely done from them. Miva, he was forced to, he kind of sacrificed a bit of his HP for that one, but he manages to make the space available for his team. I think that was kind of crazy, right? Do you see that Ivysaur? Right, Kamiru, ooh, gets the last touch. JR absent in with the, I guess that was the
Phantom Force.
Yeah, the Phantom Force. This is not something you usually see, but I mean, we've been seeing it picked up more and more lately. Oh, misses the right home though, but that was definitely a huge pick off, more than worth it.
Yep, as you were saying, right, Phantom Force has been being picked more and more recently after the makeup from the NA side. So, they actually went for the Phantom Force instead of the Shadow Ball so that they could get a little bit more, snipe potential, or they could play a little bit more aggressively compared to the Shadow Ball variation. So, that is actually a good pick coming in from AFR's Hoopa. But, right here, Renaissance already got a good position on the top side with most of the teams already on the top side.
Oh, Shua, he's just running in again. No fear whatsoever. The Verdant angle out. Needs to be careful, but the safeguard keeps him up and running. Nicely done from Dan. Now they have to get into the pot. Ooh, the steal. I don't know how they managed to get that one. It must have been Kamiru on the Gardevoir, but they actually get the Rotom. It looked like it was tied up for AFR, but they slightly missed the mark on that one as Kamiru able to sneak in there with a nice little bit of.
Yep, that is exactly right. And that Side Shock actually landed straight right to the Rotom, immediately taking it home. But there we have Yang and Rebounds going for a 2KO right here. But that surf literally brought the whole team back so that they could just stomp on them. And, Renaissance is still on the offense right here, trying to break the bottom path.
Wait, I didn't even think about this combo at all. The drop kick pushback straight into the surf pushback as well. Just keeps them knocked up for days. As Renaissance, they're able to utilize that nice little combination play between both of their players to secure themselves 2 KOs. Now, they're looking towards the second round.
Yep, there you have Rings Unbound being popped by AFR as well. Now it's down to Renaissance. No Rings Unbound for them. But it seems like AFR has been popping 2 Unite move in the process. So it might be looking great for Renaissance.
Yeah, the Queen Sender knocking that Mevius Hoopa out of the race, the hyperspace hole, sorry, but that means they're able to secure the Dreadnought for themselves. Renaissance, they're starting to answer back, but that's not as Shua has something to say about it. Running in again, no fear whatsoever, straight onto this Gardevoir, and that is one of the weaknesses of Gardevoir. Once you get up close and personal with this Pokemon, it's very hard to land those abilities. Shua starting to clean up. Meanwhile, the Serena on the other side, rebounds, gets KO streak of 3 for himself, so things relatively even thus far as they finally finished off that Venusaur. Renaissance, they're still holding strong.
Yep, I mean, AFR actually used those Unite move a little bit too early before the rest of Renaissance team actually show up, right? So, Renaissance actually took advantage of that. Once their Hoopa hit level 9, Rings Unbound being popped off, the rest of the team would just go rampage and just steal that Dreadnought off at themselves. So, Renaissance know that timing, they know their opening, and they actually went for it. And, even though the Gardevoir is really weak in terms of those close-up combat, but the burst damage coming in from Side Shock is a little bit too much. AFR might have to be a little bit more careful, especially when stepping into the circle of the Side Shock.
Yeah, Renaissance focusing up towards this top path. They want to get the Rotom, and the rest of the side of AFR, they're slightly more split up. They have that control of the bot path, and they end up losing out the Rotom to the unit of Renaissance.
Yep, Shua is immediately, going straight right to the leftmost side of their the Aldinos as well. So, getting away those EXP, and Shua is already at level 13. That's gonna be that key Pokemon or the key carry the AFR is actually looking for.
Yeah, I think it's been a quiet game a bit from this Decidueye as well. Only level 11, not really able to get up to a standard that we expect. Usually it's this high-level Decidueye just sniping from afar and causing a lot of chaos. But even the knock-knock, like you said, in that earlier fight, didn't really get to do that much.
Yep, he popped it a little bit too early, a little bit too far back. Renaissance is not exactly in the arc of fire, so that knock-knock actually didn't answer any call, right? No one was home to actually knock on the door. But, immediately, Renaissance go for the top path push. But you look at this, right? Rebong's on the bottom side, taking the Dreadnought all by himself.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to grab it as well because they don't want to overextend on AFR. They're just going to give this one up, but that's crucially going to give a couple of level 13s to the side of Renaissance. Now Gardevoir and Serena have those as well. AFR do have the positioning here, but they could be chased away by an Egg Bomb. MT reclaiming that little bit of a pixel brush in that bot side of the legendary pit as the final stretch rolls around.
Yeah, as both team are really on the stare down right here. It's gonna be anybody's game because there we have Psyshock landing onto the Venusaur once again, but getting the resets from that from hyperspace hole.
Oh.
Renaissance already in position for the Zapdos.
No! They're coming straight through the portal. They expected it and they set up for it perfectly. I was just about to say that hyperspace hole is a bit too close to that Gardevoir and they take down two in an instant. Now it's a 3v5 situation. They can't actually get the Zapdos. They just are outgunned. The Decidueye forced to stay away and Kamiru just nails it home. Renaissance, they come back with a bit of a statement in this game number 1 of the losers finals. They got knocked down by no Lucario, but they are here to play and they get the Zapdos and secure these double dunks.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about Rings Unbound, right? Your location is known, you have to be really sneaky with where you're actually potting. If you're potting straight right into your opponent in the open, that Psyshock, you have to expect that Psyshock definitely going to land. There we have Rebongs going down in a 1v3 on top side as well, but that's not going to make too much of a difference. 1 minute more on the clock, where AFR have to clock in another 500 more points to actually win this game. It's not exactly looking good for them, but, the hope is still alive.
Yeah, it's definitely not over just yet. I mean, I say that, but this is from coming from the place of the highest copium possible. I don't know how many Pokemon on the side of AFR actually have a score shield. I'm not really sure. Maybe it might just be Dan actually. We'll have to check in the post-game screen if that's even possible. But now they're starting to run forward. There's the Blitz Assistance just to keep Shua up and running. Has the Verdant Anger as well. 2 Unite moves pop. But there is the Fairy Singularity. Only grabs hard, but it's enough to finish him off with the Psyshock. Now Miva in a bit of trouble as well. Gonna get taken down. But the rest of the side of AFR starting to get repelled. They've managed to push down all the attackers, and that is the last one. 5 down on the deck of AFR means that it's lights out. Renaissance, they clock in 1 win in this losers final in commanding style. Kamiru on this Gardevoir showing you exactly why we call it a signature.
Wow, I mean, those well-timed Psyshock, well-played Psyshock as well. Everything is just well-read by Renaissance. They are actually reading AFR like an open book. AFR, we have to try to think a little bit more. How can we play around this Gardevoir from Kamiru, right? Is Venusaur even the right choice? Because, it's getting burst down so fast just by those Psyshocks.
No, I do gotta say, I think Schwad was doing a pretty stellar job this entire time, right? Because he was running in, he's causing so much chaos, he's causing Kamiru to just constantly be panicking and trying to throw out these spells in a suboptimal fashion. But the crucial mistake was at that legendary pit. When they sort of got chunked down by the initial Psyshock as well as the Moonblast, they put a portal right in the vision of the entirety of Renaissance. That allowed Rebongs to just head on over there, set up 2 storms into a Psyshock, and it was just curtains for 2 members. I think that was the crucial moment. I don't necessarily think the Venusaur is that bad. Maybe the Decidueye is something you want to look at instead. But still, AFR, I feel like they have something good going for them. It really was just in these final moments where they sort of let the ball drop.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good game, right? But however, that Decidueye didn't pop off at all. There was no snipe involved. There was no great KO. It's just always getting bullied by Yang on the Cramorant as well. So maybe, switch it back out. We've seen them run really well with the Cramorant. Go with the Cramorant, go with a Cramorant fight or Cramorant mirror in the bottom side. That could make a difference.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were talking about it as early on as the Rowlet stage, right? Not really having the best of times and not really able to stand up to the Cramorant as well. If you're ever in a situation where you're facing down a Cramorant and he's in range to kind of pop you out with a Hurricane, you're just gonna get surfed and you're just gonna get cleaned up. It's that easy. With the Decidueye, you're only so limited in how far or how close you can play to the fight, because if you get a bit too close, you're just bam, wiped out in an instant, right? But I mean, I'm not really sure about this pick. I think it's a good I think it's a good kind of like countermeasure to a Gardevoir, but I don't really think they were planning for that Kamiru Gardevoir either. But we're gonna have to see. I definitely expect some adjustments in game number 2 from AFR.
Yeah, that's definitely right. Like as you said, they didn't expect the Gardevoir at all, right? Because we haven't really seen Gardevoir in a competitive level at all. So this
It's
is
really
probably
just Kamiru. It's really just Kamiru, right?
and he's really strong on the Gardevoir, right? But
Oh,
with
the
Gardevoir, you kind of
keys,
need that support and that Cramorant and the slide, right? What was it called? Grassy slide coming in from
Grassy
the
Glide.
yeah. That guy coming in from the Serena, they actually can reposition those opponent Pokemon into that side shot range as well. So
Yeah.
that this single combination coming in by Renaissance is it could it actually makes sense, right? Just reposition everyone into that side shock circle and just deal massive amount of damage. And I think that's what Renaissance is trying to go after.
Yeah, so for those of you who are just joining us, welcome to the Start GG Launch League. We are well into the losers finals. My name is Permasneeze, and of course I'm joined here by Moonboy Gaming. You might have known us from maybe UCS or something like that. Of course, we got JJ in the back line doing the production right now. He'll be with you for the grand finals, but for now we'll be holding down the fort. And we just watched AFR go 1 game down to Renaissance, and a beautiful Gardevoir pick coming out from Kamiru to seal the deal, right? Of course, we do have to mention as well that we haven't been seeing Gardevoir because it's only this recent patch that the last evolution level got bumped down to level 8. I think that definitely plays a huge role as well.
Yep, and we haven't exactly seen lots of good Gardevoir pilots, right? Or even
sure.
bringing it out, bringing the potential out of this beautiful Pokemon. It has a lot of weakness, right? Like it's you can't exactly go close to it, especially in this meta where Gengar or Absol could be really strong if they get really near to the Gardevoir. So if they really want to counter the Gardevoir, like this might be a option, but I'm not sure if it's the right call.
Yeah, so the thing with the reason why you were saying, oh, maybe we could think about switching off the Venusaur or something like that. But the reason why I don't think that's the issue is because with a Decidueye, you kind of want to play a poking game, but one of these pokes is significantly stronger than the other. The Gardevoir is more than happy to stand at a distance and see your arrows from a long range coming and just slightly glide out of the way, right? With a Gardevoir, you want someone like a Greninja, an Absol, and a Gengar, a Charizard who can just mindlessly just swoop on over, Water Burst Shuriken on top of you, stand on top of you, surf you down, and just clean you up in an instant. You don't want to let that Gardevoir take an extended fight where they can just keep raining in those side shots.
Yep, but however, moving into game number 2, knowing that, the Gardevoir is already online for Renaissance, so it's down to, in Renaissance, right? Is it a great idea to actually keep that Gardevoir, or is it one and done for them? That is also a possibility, right? Mind games right here, when coming into the best of 3, where drafts is actually really important.
Yeah, speaking of the draft, we have it right available for you, so let's hop right in. Let's see whether Kamiru still goes for his Gardevoir. Of course he does. This is a signature after all, baby. And he's going to pick that one right up. And Yang, once again, piloting that Cramorant, taking a page out of Heart's book. We saw Heart kind of pilot that to pretty much success against RJ Gaming, catching them off guard. But I think, they might have to reconsider a little bit. Is Venusaur and the Decidueye combo really the bunch of attackers that they want? Or are they going to opt for what Viva is looking at right now? This Gengar can definitely cause a world of hurt, not only for the Gardevoir, but for Yang as well, and perhaps even Mebius, right? Because there's only so much these squishy backliners can do.
Yep, I think I'm calling it, right? I think I'm starting to be a prophet like JJ, right? I'm calling it.
No, don't even try. Don't even try. Okay? You wait until you call 2 to 3 consecutive matches in a row, correct exact score. Don't one Pokemon pick. Come on, anyone can do that. Get it? Eh? Oh, did you catch that? Was there a bit of an issue there? We'll have to check back with JJ to let us know, but it looks like Schwa didn't actually get to pick this Pokemon. Because there's no way they're running this there's no way this is it, right?
I mean, we have seen Eldegoss in the central area before, so
yeah, but I don't...
it's still possible.
Yeah, okay, let's just roll with it.
Okay, remake.
Yeah. So JJ has confirmed that it is a remake. This is dude. This is a spicy draft. If this is actually what they're going with. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we will not be seeing Shua pilot and X attack Eldegoss. But yeah, it's actually I hope the teams. I mean, we're going for a remake. I hope the teams aren't too sort of bothered by this one because they sort of have no choice but to. I believe Shua probably disconnected in the meanwhile as we see both of these teams just gonna.
Oh, he can't
okay,
click a
yeah,
Pokemon.
yeah,
Okay.
couldn't click Pokemon, unfortunately. Yeah. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
Okay. No. Okay. Moonboy,
actually...
wait. Moonboy, this is a perfect chance for you, right?
Okay.
Because you were saying you're a prophet.
Okay.
Let's just assume that all these other 4 Pokemon, the Koopa, the Squirtle, the Ghastly, or rather the Gengar, as well as the Slowbro, are the Pokemon that you want to pick, right? Who is Shua picking? This is your chance. If you get this one right, I don't know whether the viewers will agree, but I will transfer JJ's title.
Maybe a Serena or an attack. Serena. I'm going with Serena. They need an attacker. They need a damage dealer or even a sustainability.
But Shua is their central area player, so you think he's gonna go for Serena central area? Moonboy?
No, you got the Gengar, and the Gengar is definitely gonna be on the central area, right?
Okay, so a bit of a role switch is what you're guessing.
Yeah, that's possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Serena is a very cowardly guess, but we'll let you have it. We'll let you have it as we wait for a remake here. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for this a bit of a delay. I think Shua, he wasn't able to click on the Pokemon that he wanted to select. And, he wasn't going to pilot this X-Attack Eldegoss into $2,000 US on the line, right? That's the prize pool that we have for today's Start GG Launch League. So for those of you who don't know Start GG, that name might not be very familiar to you, but that is because it is the rebrand of Smash GG. I'm sure all involves the best of them as well. But yeah, I mean, this is the Smash GG rebrand into Start GG, and because of that, they're having this launch league across many different titles, Pokemon Unite being one of them. And Asia isn't the only region, right? We have. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So because of the sorry for the delay, everybody, but like I said, this Smash GG into Start GG launch league is it's a huge event, right? We have so many different regions on the board. We have Brazil, South America, Asia, which is what we're casting right now, Europe, as well as North America. So yeah, I believe the teams, they took a little while to kind of show us what the proof is. Okay, we're watching this now.
Yep, so all this is all screenshot and screen captured, Shua actually had a problem with the selection screen right over here, so he can't exactly lock in any Pokemon during the draft. So so this was the issue, and we will be expecting a remake after this.
Yeah, so this not usually how it happens, but we just want to make sure there is some transparency, and we're gonna show that to you guys as well, so all the competitors and everyone watching can kind of see. Yeah, so I think I don't think AFR are respectful competitors, right? They're not just gonna random just in a tournament. That's not how they roll. So we are going for a remake. Of course, we do have to wait for 5-minute mark, unfortunately, for these teams to surrender. So that is just how it goes. But Moonboy, let me ask you, what were your expectations coming into today's tournament, and what do you feel like you haven't seen just yet? Because for me, I think Gardevoir was definitely on the bucket list.
Yep.
I definitely expected Gardevoir to see a lot more play because of the level 8 evolution, right? But I'm surprised we're not seeing any Espeon at all. I want to see some Espeon, bro. What do you think about that Pokemon?
Well, I think Espeon is not exactly up to mark yet, right?
Oh, okay.
I mean, it does a lot of a bit of damage, but it's not enough to be on par with your great what is it called, like mage, special attacker, right? Like Pikachu or even Sylveon or even Gardevoir. So this Espeon is not exactly, the numbers are not exactly there yet. So maybe there might be a great buff or patch coming in from Espeon later on into the meta, or even Delphox would be a possible special attacker coming into the fray as well. So so these are all possible future kind of thing, but Espeon is really falling out in terms of the numbers compared to your standard special attackers.
Yeah, the only real thing that kind of scares me is like when I'm walking up to a brush and then suddenly a Psyshock chunks me for like half my HP. But apart from that, it feels like the Pokemon does have its lackluster moments. I think specifically for me, when we saw the preview for Espeon, right, we're like, Psychic Soleil looks so good. Oh my god! But oh, okay, so we are
Okay.
getting this in from JJ now. He's reporting this to us, and this is one thing I wanted to flag up, right? Because both of these teams, even though AFR they couldn't pick the Pokemon that they wanted. In a way, both sides have sort of revealed their hand, right? So in the interest of competitive integrity, both teams have decided that they're gonna switch their lineups completely and go with something different for this second match in the losers final. So apologies for the delay once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Start GG Launch League, and we are in the losers final. We just saw a bit of a technical issue coming out from AFR Schwa's side where he wasn't able to select the Pokemon. So because of that, we're going to a remake of game number 2. Just to give you a recap, AFR didn't manage to kind of beat out Renaissance in the game number 1, and game number 1 really was on the back of that beautiful Gardevoir coming out from Kamiru.
Yep, I think with the show of hands, with the Gengar coming in, that actually made a difference, right? Because that Gengar could be a surprise factor that AFR could
For sure.
come and counter the Gardevoir. So with the Gengar being revealed, right, things is gonna change. So the whole game plan is gonna be rewritten once again. They are going back to the drawing board. What would be the best draft moving forward?
Yeah, but then again, the same could be said for Renaissance, right? Where Renaissance now they know that their Gardevoir is going to get targeted. They know that it's important enough for AFR. The AFR made a full-on switch to a Pokemon that you don't usually see, right? You don't usually see in these competitions. Of course, it has the potential to just go absolutely crazy and get the Dream Eater resets. On the other hand, it also, if you don't get them with the initial combo, then the Pokemon can really sort of fall flat. But yeah, so both of these teams, they definitely have a lot to think about going into this game number 2, which will be right with you in a short bit. But for now, of course, there is a bit of a delay, so apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're just... Yeah, okay. Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay,
Nice.
so the last decision that came out, as we're getting this information live from production now, is that they were going to switch up the compositions entirely. Now, if you kind of switch all 5 Pokemon, that kind of leaves you with a bit of a subpar selection, especially since, there's so many Pokemon that in the meta that were picked. So they've decided, they've reverted, and they just think, okay, you know what, Schwa, you can switch your Pokemon, everybody else picks the same. So we're still going to see the Slowbro, Squirtle, Ghastly, as well, or rather Gengar, as well as the Koopa. The final Pokemon that Moonboy predicted was Serena. So we're gonna see whether he is gonna be correct on that one, whether we can call him a prophet as well and send him to that rank, same as JJ, or whether he's just gonna be a false.
I mean, I'm a moon boy, so what else is there to be false about, right?
That makes no sense whatsoever. If you can explain your sentence, I'll give it to you. If you cannot, then just honestly tap out. It's fine.
No, I can't. I tap.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, boy. Yeah, you guys, you know what you guys need to do? You guys need to listen to what this man is actually saying when he talks. And like half the time, he's just like, what is he even talking?
Half the time, I don't even know what am I saying, guys.
Yeah, no, me too.
I'm just smiling. Yeah.
I was giving them a full moon, just like, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. As you can see in the little bottom area over there. Oh, wrong side, this area. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, mirrored camera, ladies and gents. But yep, as you can see, we are getting the game back online. The players are streaming in, and we'll get you your game very shortly. But I think cutest thing for me for this particular tournament is, apart from of course the $2,000 US dollar prize pool, which is pretty significant for these players. It's also kind of a mini preview of what we can expect to see, right? Because now that Delphox has been added, I doubt we're going to get a lot of major patches between now and the regional finals.
Right.
The regional finals is literally like, what, 1 week away? So
Correct.
This is kind of like a little bit of a regional finals preview for APAC, right?
Yep, and these are these top teams are actually the ones actually playing, right? They actually qualified for the regionals as well. So we are likely to see these strategies or these few strategies coming in today might be a preview of what we're going to expect moving forward. So like Cramorant or even Dragon Knights coming in as well. It's like these are all really great composition, and these teams actually crack their head to form them up. So big props to them, because no one would have thought the comeback of Dragon Knight.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody is. This is the beautiful thing about a new patch, right? Everybody sort of will have their own idea
Mhm.
because everyone has a different understanding of the game. So everyone has their own idea of how this patch is going to play out, who's going to be the significant Pokemon that's going to be hotly contested and all that. And we're seeing this clash of ideas at this Start GG launch league, which is really interesting, right? Because after this hot bit of testing, that's where people go back to the drawing board. They're like, this didn't work, why? They're looking at the replays, they're looking at the VODs, they're trying to get an analysis as to what is working for them and what is not. And that just means for regional finals, we're gonna see a very refined and polished version of what these teams think the meta is.
Yep, that's definitely right, right? Like, maybe the Decidueye is not working. I can switch it out for a Cramorant or whatnot. So these are all like pointers that they could take note and redefine what they're gonna do in regional. So and not forgetting, right, even new strategies or strategies that we have not seen today on stream could be reviewed next week on regionals as well. So it's going to be really exciting coming in, and not forgetting the OCE side has their own, tinkering going about as well. So there's a lot of variations and different team composition or even strategies that we'll be seeing next week.
Yeah, I think biggest thing for me is I'm a big Decidueye fan. I think I mentioned this already. I used to play a lot of Cramorant. I play a lot of Decidueye. But Decidueye feels a little bit hard to make work in these constructed situations, right? Because in solo queue, you're still able to find that farm and get to that crucial level 7. But Decidueye really is a Pokemon that feels very, very weak before level 7.
Yep, and there we have, both teams right here going into the draft phase. We have seen the same lineup coming in from Renaissance as well, but Schwa still unable to press into a Pokemon, I guess.
Oh, that would definitely.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, scaring us for a moment. Hopefully, he's able to switch. Maybe he wasn't planning to get the Charizard, but Charizard's missing a held item at the moment. Nope. Okay, looks like he's more than able to get that switch on, and it's actually gonna be if Miva's this top side Gengar and it's a Schwa Central area Charizard. This is definitely something spicy.
No profit.
I mean, JJ literally chimed in from production just to slam down on Moonboy. Love to hear that. Okay, yeah, but Moonboy, unfortunately, you are just a false. But that is fine as we're into game number 2 of this losers finals. Took us a little while, but we're getting a spicy Charizard coming out from AFR.
Yeah, another gap closer coming in as well. So it seems like AFR is hard targeting Kamiru on the Gardevoir, right? This gap closes, coming in, or even a Slowbro, if he managed to pick up the Serena or the Gardevoir, is going to be huge for AFR as well. So this is a hard counter to whatever Renaissance is going to throw at them. So it's down to Renaissance. How are we going to answer? Because we have already known that the Gengar is coming online. So they have the time to recollect their thoughts and come up with a new strategy or even a counter to the counter itself.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me as a okay, so Gengar, here's the thing. If you get kind of broken out of your Dream Eater or for any reason at all, the second part of your Dream Eater gets disjointed, it's very, very hard to keep the fight going, right? So for Miva, he has to be so careful not to get caught up in either a Grassy Glide or a Surf, because that will just completely ruin any chance he has at any sort of fight. As we get into game number 2 here, of course, Renaissance are 1-0 up, and that means they are 1 game away from getting a rematch against their Singaporean counterparts. And for AFR, this could be the huge return arc for the Philippines, for the once Philippines top dog, right?
Yep, and it's not just that, it's also $2,000 of prize pool worth on the line as well. And there you have, 3 men on the bottom side for Renaissance. So they're really trying to push a lot of EXP coming down in the bottom side.
Yeah, I think that just goes to show that they are really confident in Revolve's ability to just kind of hold his own regardless of what they throw at him, right? Because they've so consistently thrown these 3 together in the bot path. Yang, NT, as well as Mivius, like you said, applying quite a bit of pressure. And Slowbro, there's a reason why we don't see him very often. The 2 water Pokemon in the bot side, not really a bot path combination we see very often, but we're gonna have to see how it works out for them.
Yep, and something interesting, the AFR is not going for a Blissey this time. So, not much healing or, long game or long fights coming in for AFR. So likely they will be looking for a quick and short fight because, they don't really have so much sustainability or even healing in
nice. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, there is that sustain coming out onto rebounds. The shields are available, but they do have to be so careful because that is when the Kirlia is at a strong point. Once you have that side shot online, that's where you can rain in a lot of damage. Schwa caught in a bad way on the wrong side of the neighborhood, can't get that reset, and Renaissance stream back in just to punish him. And now, this could be a cool move. Look at the 2 supports on Renaissance, they're going in for counter jumping.
Yep, just counter the central area buffs, just remove Shua from the equation as well, not allowing him to get into the Charizard form just before the first Dreadnought. And take a look at this, the Buffalon immediately removed by NT, and Shua and Mavis might be a little bit of a bad position, but it's totally A-okay because the damage has been done.
Yeah, and they buy so much time and attention from the AFR bot path and top path laners as well, right? These Pokemon would very much like to be helping Dan out in this bot path because of the amount of attention drawn. Yes, sure, you're at your slow, bro, but you're still significantly lacking in terms of the level department.
Yep, speaking of the level department, take a look on the top right hand side of your screen. The Cramorant is already at level 6 right now, and that is not the level that you want to meet against your opponent. Another 30 points once again in his pocket right here, and Yang once again taking all the wild Pokemon to himself, and this Bluebird is on fire and is cooking something nice with his mouth.
Yeah, I mean, it has the chef's hat on and everything. The meal is getting prepared. Shua still can't find a bit of an angle here. This Charizard pick not really working out for him so far, as Rebounds is able to hold firm, like we said, trusted by his team to hold the fort in this top path, and most definitely does. Already are at level 8, and they've managed to pop open this bot tier 1. This is huge because it means there's no support coming in for JR Absent, and they're forced to give away this Dreadnought.
Yep, I mean, they are not in a position to fight against Renaissance. Take a look at this level 10 on the Gardevoir. That's not the fight that you want to pick, as the rest of Renaissance immediately rotates straight right to the top side from the hyperspace hole, and they're just pushing AFR away from the fight. The Rotom is mine, you're not going to get close to it, and I'm going to push you back all the way.
Yeah, that's for sure. Miva trying to go in with the Haunter, but like we said, if you can't get that burst damage out in spades, that's where it gets scary. The Queen's Ascendant as well. Shua not able to get that last hit, or at least not able to get his own Unite move, but I don't think he would have wanted to pop it anyway. The Seismic Slam, probably not worth it to use it at that point in time, but Renaissance, they're just crushing AFR all over the map.
Yep, there's not just objective diff, there's level diff, and right now, Renaissance just on the steamroll right now. AFR really have to try to find a way to fight off this one. Take a look at this rebounds on the Storm once again. But the Haunter's online taking a 2 KO in the process, as he's still down, and Kamira is being haunted down by the ghost type Pokemon right here, but unable to get out of there alive, as the Rotom is still trying to find a way in, but unable to do so.
Oh, that was a really nice move coming out from Miva. Finally gets the Sludge Bomb as well as the Hex online, and because they're able to chain a couple of pretty sick KOs alongside the help of that Blastoise with the Torrent boosted Rapid Spin coming out, right? So because of that, they still maintain a bit of parity, but really quiet game coming out from Shua so far. This Charizard, haven't really seen him do much.
Yeah, I mean, he's being caught really early twice or thrice in the early game as well. So that is not the position as a central area Pokemon that you want to be in. So, maybe, he's trying to farm up a little bit more and try to get those wild Pokemon, those EXP up, because right now he's already at level 10. It seems like AFR might be in a little bit of a better position to take a fight against Renaissance.
Oh, they spot Kamiru out, but is he the one who has spotted them? Chucks a few spells their way, but Mevius and JR Absent have opened the portal, and in comes Dan with the Hydro Typhoon onto 4. Is it enough? The spin is there, but so is the Queen's Ascendant, keeping Rebounds up and running, and just like that, they dispatch the Blastoise, looking towards the Dreadnought right now, as JR Absent, his Rings Unbound force pops out, and the backup isn't there, but he steals it with a Hyperspace Hole. No way! JR Absent is crazy. This man has been left to his own devices ever since the start, right? We saw him kind of try and bring in the cavalry. Nobody came through, but he's like, fine, I'll do it myself. Just tosses a hole, grabs the Dreadnought, and I mean, he falls for that one, but more than worth it.
Great timing and great steal coming in from JR Absent. This actually might be the turning point over here for AFR. And there you have, Seismic Slam coming in onto the Hoopa, but Renaissance is on the push.
Yeah, I mean, they have Seismic Slam out, but the Charizard and the Hoopa are already down, as AFR are still trying to clean up. Right now, it's a 2-for-3 situation. There's Miva with the burst, getting out the Blissey as well, and the last remaining member is Rebound on this arena. He's trying to do what he can, but the Storms are swing and a miss as Hard, keeping them away with the Skull. A pretty interesting build coming out from this Slowbro, not the traditional Surf that you see, pumping out so much special attack damage, and because of that, they're slightly forced back. NT looking towards this Rotom though, but not able to secure it, as Dan pumps out the Hydro Typhoon, but actually Renaissance, they stole it.
Wow, I mean, like, look at this, right? AFR is just so tanky to be dealing with right now. It takes so much damage to actually burst these tanks down, but unable to get that Rotom. Renaissance is still on the push. Took a list. 5 men on the top side, 4 men on the top side, trying to push and get the Rotom straight right in. And Miva might be in that position right here.
Oh, that was really nice. Did you see that? He actually hexed over to the Rotom to dodge out the side shot that he knew was coming. So definitely very comfortable on that Pokemon and quick thinking coming out from that Gengar to keep himself safe. But yeah, Renaissance not able to get a lot out of that Rotom, but they're still very much happy with that fight win.
Yep, AFR is having a composition with 3 stage 3 Pokemon, and they are right now all fully skilled, all fully leveled as well. Gengar is at level 13, Blastoise is at level 13, and even the Charizard just reached level 13 also. So AFR is looking great coming into the late game. Down to Renaissance. How are they going to answer back this one? Because it's not going to be as easy as it seems like 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, AFR definitely packing a lot more of a punch near these later stages. But I mean, Renaissance claim yet another Dreadnought for themselves. One thing they do have going for them is the level advantage still pretty much similar. Miva, you know, he has kind of reached that level 14 mark. So it's getting a little scary for this Gengar, but hard. It's going to be the first one to get found out. Dropping the water spout on top of their heads just to chase them out of the brush area. But Schwa getting caught out by the surf. Oh, he's so careful. Ooh, dodging out that Shadow Ball. So narrowly surviving down the Charizard would have been a huge disaster, but ooh, Miva's actually channeling in a 50 dunk in this bot path yet again. So getting that number back more more even, right, as we start off this final stretch.
Yep, level 14 on the Gengar right here. Those hexes is going to be dealing tons of damage to what Renaissance is going to have. JR absent, immediately going in for the Rings Unbound. And there we have Renaissance for the reply.
Stun onto Kamiru, but he manages to get out of the Bliss Resistance. Then gonna pop them all up with the Hydro Typhoon and melt down 2 immediately. That makes it a 3. Kamiru has to run, but being chased down by the Gen 1 powerhouses. Shaw and Dan just melt him apart. And Gardevoir's signature, who Renaissance gets slapped back to the deck as AFR. What a beautiful fight coming out from JR Abson. Forces the Bliss Assistance with a huge Hyperspace Fury, and just like that, Zapdos is theirs, and it's most likely the game as well.
Wow, I mean, AFR really did come back off this one. With this composition, they managed to just pump back those EXP back up, managed to just scale their Pokemon up to their final form, and just push Renaissance all the way back. Look at this, 429 to 182 on the clock with only 50 more seconds. Renaissance, 300 more points to score, but no, 400 more points to score. But it's not going to be an easy task for Renaissance to climb this mountain.
Yeah, AFR defense is the name of the game. 45 seconds left on the clock means that time is ticking for Renaissance, but that just means AFR, they need to hold firm on these goal zones as well. Of course, this goal zone only has 100 quote-unquote HP to work with, but a nice little kind of dunk secures in 70 for now. They're still holding on strong though. Hart spraying them away with the skull, and the damage is enough. Miva cleans up shop. The hexes are there. The sludge bomb is there. The last touch of the Kamiru. He grabs it as his last breath. And Renaissance, they just get wiped out. 15 seconds left. No one's gonna be available except for this Cramorant. And there's only so far this Bluebird can fly alone. Renaissance, they're gonna get the game evened out 1-1. And AFR, they have one more shot to the grand final.
Counter the Gardevoir, and counter the Gardevoir they did. Like, with this composition at the first 4 minutes, they were so behind against Renaissance, but they managed to pick their boots and just get those scaling up, get the level up, get Miva online, and those hacks is gone crazy. And the hex goes and takes out everyone on Renaissance.
Yeah, I mean, there was no end to that one. I personally, you know, I thought it was going to be more of a Dream Eater's Shadow Ball situation, but when you have these Pokemon all grouped up, throwing one big sludge bomb onto all of them just means that you can decide who you want to hex and when. And Miva definitely showing the strength of this Gengar. Like you said, they had such a tough early stage. It looked so bad for Schwa as well as Miva as they continuously got caught out. But the control and surprising stuff, Scald as well, coming into fruition for Heart. I mean, it just came together in such a cute way.
think Scout actually have a special defense drop, right?
Yeah, so that helps the
actually,
Gengar even more, right?
Yep, and that actually allows Miva to go for those heavy hacks coming in as well. But not forgetting, Dan on the Blastoise actually did have a few great Hydro Typhoons, knocking the rest of the team up, where Miva would just go in for the hacks again and again and again. And those great Seismic Slam from Schwa actually did make the difference as well. So overall, it's a team effort coming in from AFR. So Renaissance is back to the drawing board, right? Is Gardevoir the right choice once again?
Right, so I mean, we saw this Gardevoir specifically catered to AFR, right? Now AFR, they punch back in game number 2. The third game is just going to be a wild card because I have absolutely no idea what these teams are going to bring. Specifically for this match, they kind of drafted a very interesting special defense, with the Scald slowing you down, with the Sludge Bomb kind of slowing you as well. Like you said, the Charizard just raining in pain, but it's not really what your traditional lineup looks like. As we see JJ claim a nice little bit of energy. Nice one there, JJ. Just getting those rewards. If you guys needed a tutorial from Philippines finest, now you can have it right here. This is how he goes about maneuvering his battle pass. You can learn. What are we looking at? Okay, full screen battle pass review. Okay, it looks like JJ. Let's take a review here. I believe
only at level 8, dude.
Yikes! This is embarrassing if I do gotta say so myself. I don't know what this is. He can't even score a total of 10 goals. Come on, man. Okay, yo, outfit. Yo, JJ, give us an outfit check. Give us an outfit check. Who's inviting?
He's jumping into the
no, he's jumping into the. Oh, okay, enough messing around. I just want to see JJ's outfit, but yeah. Okay, no, wait. He's still giving us an outfit check. Nice. Okay, let's see.
Okay, at JJ at 77YP5RT, okay?
Yeah, you can add your idol. You can add your idol if you guys want. Like, if you guys want to be friends with the prophet himself, that's where you can hit him up. 77YP5RT. You can get him on your friends list. Okay, so this is the outfit. He's got a beanie on. I can respect that. I believe, is that a firefighter's outfit? I guess
I
it's
love
always,
the backpack.
it's always good to be prepared for emergencies, I guess. I think it's his mindset. Like, okay, the shoe is a little bit basic. He got the nice cuff going on. I don't know whether that's a watch.
It's a watch.
Yeah, okay. No, is it?
It's a bracelet.
Yeah, it's a bracelet. Get it together, Moonboy. Moonboy never seen a watch before. Okay, but I like this. He has some color coordination going on, right? He got the suit jacket, he got the striped tie. It goes nicely with the beanie as well. Maybe would have like it's
a pose.
A little bit of a pose for us. Strike it. Oh, love that.
And I love the backpack as well. The backpack.
Okay, no, the backpack. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like regular schoolboy ready to fight fires or something like that.
Fire force.
Yeah, just making sure the cities are safe. That's JJ.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, back into the lobby. I believe both teams should be ready. Enough with the garbage. We're just talking. I don't know what that was about. I guess we just went full screen. But yeah, so waiting for the teams to get into the game here and predictions.
AFR 2-1.
Oh, AFR 2-1. I was gonna go with Renaissance actually. I think here's the thing about Renaissance. If you guys know anything about Pokemon Unite Singapore, if you make Kamiru angry, and game number 1, after game number 1, right? He probably was feeling pretty good, right? On the Gardevoir. He's performing his Siggy. He's like, man, I'm just cruising. I'm gonna crush these kids. Game number 2, they have that remake situation. He's mad. They countered him. He's mad. He's gonna pull something out of the hat. Yeah. And look at that. It's a Dragonite, baby. He's gonna pull out the good old reliable. If there's one thing about Kamiru, is that this man knows how to get his EXP up. He always finds a way. Even though he tanks those early, KOs, he will always find a way to hit that crucial level when it matters most. That is his specialty, or at least that is what the teams that he plays with specialize with, giving him and funneling him that EXP. So we're gonna have to see whether he's able to make the most out of that in this game number 2.
Yep, that is definitely right. So we actually seen this composition in the winners bracket finals against No Lucario previously, right? So this is the team composition that they did not make it work. So this might be the composition that they are looking to work. But however, AFR with the Wigglytuff and Greedon as well and Zeraora, like this is one spicy composition from AFR.
So Wiggly is actually a pretty interesting angle to take when it comes to the Hoopa, right? Because with the Hoopa, the biggest thing that you're scared about is being completely chain CC up by the Hyperspace Fury, as we've seen time and time again. Kind of same situation with Serena, right? If she gets the stomp up onto you, that's not only a lot of damage, but a lot of slow that can happen. Let's not talk about the Egg Bomb as well. Let's not talk about the Volt Tackle that can come up on the Pikachu. With this Wiggly, you can essentially completely break open any sort of hindrance that might come, but AFR, they all have fluffy tails. Oh boy.
Yep, I think this is your classic score composition, right? Like they're just gonna be diving straight right in. Wiggles likely we will be seeing the roll out coming in from the Wigglytuff as well. So I was looking at this team composition, I was like, wait, this is really familiar because this is exactly what we have been seeing in the Japanese or the Korean region, where they are actually, scoring, like, this is a score composition, basically.
Yeah, but it's a bit awkward, right? Because it doesn't have all the traditional components of the score composition. Instead, you have this Zera Aura in this central area played by Schwa, and you have a Squirtle. Lucario can be part of the score comp as well, but you're sort of missing Talon, you're missing the Dragonite. So pretty interesting adaptation. I kind of want to see what they're up to with this composition.
Yep, and there we have, Miva going in for the central area, still just denying Kamiru from the buff as well. But he managed to just get this one, and Kamiru might be a little bit of a danger right here in a 1v1.
Yeah, Miva has popped that focus ban on Kamiru, but the last strike, no, it's there! Gets the KO. Kamiru says, you invade my jungle, thank you for giving me my buff back. Crucially, the booster attack from the water attack, third one for the Dragonair, actually allows him to keep that sustained up on top of the focus ban. So a slow early tumble coming out from Lucario.
Yep, that is a great move coming in from Renaissance, right? That counter, counter jungling coming in from AFR, immediately just remove him off the threat and just take the EXP of the KO and the buff back as well. So that is a really, and not to get an NT immediately going into the central area just to support him. Like, that is a great teamwork coming in from Renaissance.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, AFR, we're still not really seeing what this composition is meant to do, but one thing they are kind of doing is getting these dunks off. Schwa is actually going to get eliminated in this top side, so not a quick start for this Zera Aura. Of course, Zera Aura is one of those Pokemon that really takes quite a while to come online.
Yep, that is exactly right? Especially with the skills is actually at a higher level, I think level 5 and level 7, if I'm not wrong. So, or even 8. So this Zera Aura having those late skills will be a little bit of a problem, right? Take a look at that central area from the AFR side as well. 2 blue is at the orange central area.
Yeah, I mean, this has just kind of devolved into a bit of a mess, if we're being honest. And I really, really am grateful for the fact that, we sort of skipped outcasting that entire chaotic bit where it was just score comps, because this is the chaos, and I'm sure JJ is having a rough time as well because he has to observe all this action. Like, literally, look, there's like 4 engagements happening all over the map at any point in time, but this is kind of special that we used to see AFR pilot, right? They were really, really good at this scoring composition as well, and right now, it doesn't look too hot for them though, as Renaissance still very much in control.
Yep, I mean, Renaissance have that level advantage as well, but it's just, AFR is just making everything so messy for Renaissance, right? This is not your typical kind of like style of play, so it might have jumbled up Renaissance game plan a little bit, but, it's down to Renaissance. How are they going to answer this one? Like, take a look at this, roll out again and again and again, just hindering whatever Renaissance is going to throw at them.
Yeah, Kamiru trying to answer back and grab most of those bees, but has a pesky little squirrel jumping in front of him hard. Looking to take a tumble, but there is Schwa jumping forward, trying to get the touch onto Kamiru. Can't make it happen though, as both teams, at least one thing is for sure, 7 minutes means it's Dreadnought time, and Renaissance are going to start this one off.
Yeah, it's not just Dreadnought time, but the Dragonite is already at level 8. Hyper Beam is online, and down goes the Dreadnought to AFR.
How did they manage to get that one right in front of Kamiru? I mean, this is kind of his specialty. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to grab the objective, but they grab 3 KOs in return, and things are normalizing a little bit at least for Renaissance. They get a huge advantage in this top part.
Yep, I think AFR is just running 4 fluffy tails, right? And that is exactly what they're trying to do. Just remove every single objective, whatever Renaissance is trying to take, and just get the advantage off there. But it seems like they're not exactly having those advantage, right? Yes, they did take those objective away, but they are unable to just close fights one after another.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, some of these Pokemon definitely take a while more to get online, right? Compare, like, you take a look at the Blastoise now, who has just only recently evolved along with the Zeraora. These are not Pokemon that are necessarily very effective in the early stages, as now they're starting to try and defend this Rotom that have been taken up by Renaissance. There's the reset coming out from the Koopa portal, and they are just gonna get back into this fight scot-free. Then, falling a little low, this Tier 1 Go Zone doesn't actually give a lot of recovery. There's Rebounds in with the jump, then forced to pop the Hydro Typhoon, only pops out Rebounds, that's only one. Now here comes the Rapid Spin as well. They managed to take down the Wigglytuff to start the fight, but now it's Dan who's starting to clean up. 2 down on the side of Renaissance as they clean up the Serena in the backline. Ooh, the Hyper Beam actually finishes off that Blastoise, and now Kamiro in a spot of bother. There's the Plasma Gale from Shua, and they finally take down that Dragon.
Yeah, this might be a turnaround that AFR actually needs. Mavius in a bad position right here in the 2v1. Immediately goes down, and the top tier 1 Coop might be going down, but Rebound's unable to just, not allowing them to do so.
Yeah, Rebounds answers back. Ooh, the Grassy Glide pushing them back, forcing out the Aura Cannon. Gonna get the last touch surely onto Shua, but ends up being answered back. Miva gets that last hit, so nicely done. The big winner of it all, of course, is gonna be this Lucario. Now in a bit of trouble, Kamiro on the chase, Hyper Beam down, ting ting ting, another one hits the deck.
Yep, and there you have, the second Dreadnought is immediately coming up right soon. 40 points going straight right to Renaissance, but Ring Unbound from Mavius.
Yeah, bringing the rest of the squad in, bringing Dragonite specifically. Kamiro gonna get bumped up by that cover, and now being sung up. Immune to hindrances means that the Dan Hydro Typhoon isn't actually gonna hit up many people. They actually lost 2. I'm not too sure who got the Dreadnought in that fight, but it looks like AFR, AFR, they managed to get it with the Fluffy Tails, like you said time and time again. But unfortunately, Renaissance, they just keep winning these fights.
Yep, I think, this might be foreshadowing something, right? Like, the amount of Fluffy Tail, the speed of them clearing this objective, this might be foreshadowing how they will be, zapping down the Zapdos immediately. But there you have Renaissance on the offense.
Yeah, Renaissance, they're still trying to win these fights, and crucially, they need to make sure that their advantage going into this final stretch is huge enough so that the Zapdos doesn't decide everything, right? Right now, they're trying to take a pretty good fight here, and they've already eliminated one. They're pressuring out on this Tier 2 Goal Zone. They're trying to get the dunks in. There's Draco Impact, beautifully done. Beautifully placed from Kamiro. Still trying to put on that pressure, but the defenders are too strong. AFR managed to force back the side of Renaissance, and there's not a portal they'll be going back to. I say that. There's Kamiro again. Is this really where you want to be? It seems like it. Bump up from the rollout. There's the blast coming out from Dan. Kamiro with the dodge out of the way. Can he survive? Absolutely not. That is not a trip that you wanted to make back, that's for sure. And now AFR are going to be looking at this objective, but they're staring down a Thunder coming out from this Pikachu. They've managed to take down the Wiggly to start. All of the side of AFR are falling so low, but for once, Renaissance grab an objective, and it's a much needed one. Is this Rotom going into Tier 2 of AFR?
Well, the only way Renaissance could actually try to keep up against this amount of damage for their objective is actually have an early game lead. So try to score as much point as possible before AFR, get that Zapdos. So, you must have a little bit of lead. You got that score lead, you got that fight lead, but you have to try to score as much. If not, if AFR manage to steal that Zapdos away from Renaissance, it's going to be game over for Renaissance.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned score lead. The score lead is 2 at the moment, Moonboy. That's not much of a lead if I've ever seen one. And Renaissance going into this final stretch, they're going to look towards the Dreadnought again. But take a look, AFR already swarming around. It looks like they don't want to risk it here, though. They know the final stretch is where they will win the game. And crucially, I think, thank you for chat pointing this out, but this is the composition that the champions in Korea piloted. So taking a page out of other regions' books, AFR, they want to pull off the same trick, and they want to catch Renaissance by surprise, and they most definitely have. They're in a pretty good spot to kind of contest this Zapdos, but this is the moment that everything will be decided. This final stretch, whoever gets the Zapdos will more than likely win this game.
Yep, Renaissance is already in a great position right here as AFR manages to just, if they are all over the place right now. Renaissance have the Zapdos all to themselves as AFR charges right in.
Yeah, Miva gonna get caught out first. That's not how you want to start the fight. The Unite moves really in hot and heavy, but the Fluffy Tails are there. And it's gonna be AFR that get the Zapdos. How many of them can get the dunks through though? Dan getting controlled up, has the focus band running, but JR absent as well as Hart are through to the kills. Meanwhile, Kamiro getting off a counter dunk as well in this top half, but they need one more. Can this Hoopa get it in? Mevius, he's gonna be the difference maker. He actually gets the dunk out, but there's still a 20-point disparity. Yang gonna get knocked out. He can't actually get his points in as he takes a tumble. This Serena gonna drop as well. So like we said, the Zapdos goes decisively to AFR, but because of that, Renaissance, they're not really able to get the points in.
Fight don't win games, ladies and gentlemen, because points is what matters, and AFR played that to their objective. It's okay that we lose every single fight in this whole game as long as I get the Zapdos, get a few dunks in, and I get the lead and just defend right now. And for another 50 more seconds, the win is definitely going straight to AFR. But Renaissance, having those level advantage and power advantage, they have to take advantage of this. 40 more seconds of the clock. They only have one more fight to bring out to AFR.
Yeah, Renaissance really have to keep their composure here. They need to start by getting rid of this Squirrel. He could prove a huge problem if he gets some dunks in. Now the rest of the squad, do they have a Rings Unbound from Mevius to pop? He's trying to get a dunk in with his 4 points. He's trying to make the difference. He's trying to get a finish, but they're keeping him away. Nice control there from AFR to deny that move. The Hyperspace Hole forced to pop out thanks to the reset, but straight into a Hydro Typhoon. Is that where you wanted to be? The safeguard is there, and Rebounds tries to get a sneaky move out. There's Kamiru as well. 2 on the central area, but they're immediately countered out. Schwa is there as well, taking down 2, and 10 seconds left on the deck. NT, that's too many points if you want to get a dunk in, and looks like Renaissance, your prediction at least for this one came true, Moonboy. AFR returns, AFR back, and AFR through to the grand finals.
Wow, this is not just a great win for AFR, but this best of 3, we actually see 3 different strategies coming in from AFR. This guy has a ton of strategies in their arsenal. They are not a one-trick pony. They are here for good, and they are here to stay with this amount of skills, as they are so flexible. Whatever they do, AFR 2-1 Renaissance send them back packing to Singapore, and they will be moving straight right to the grand finals to face No Lucario.
Yeah, I mean, and what a showing from AFR, right? You know, this is the downfall of so many prominent teams. You learn how to play a meta really, really well, and then you just kind of get stuck to it. You kind of lose that ability to adapt. But AFR, like you said, 3 different strategies, and taking a page out of the Korean champions book as well. Insane stuff, and just putting it out to perfection. Moonboy, you always like to say this, it's the points that win you the game. 4 fluffy tails just secured them that Zapdos, and it was so annoying. I know Renaissance gotta be kicking themselves like,
yeah, I mean, like, you gotta be man, right? Like, you know, you're winning. You know, nothing is wrong with your strategy, but just because they got those objectives again and again and again, and that's what, you know, causes them to lose, because they lost that Zapdos, even though they take out 3 members of that fight, but 200 points went in and they got that slight lead. Just losing by 20 points to this kind of conversation, you just felt a little bit icky, right?
I don't know how you feel right now, but I'm like squirming in my seat. That must have been so uncomfortable for Renaissance. Like, I mean, of course, props to AFR. Huge to see them win here. And of course, Philippines versus Singapore Grand Finals is what I would have preferred to see anyway, because I've seen enough. I've seen enough of Renaissance versus NL. I'm done with it. I'm good. Y'all can have it. But I mean, PH versus Singapore in the Grand Finals. And of course, what a way to do it as well. AFR, if they beat NL here, this could truly then be their comeback arc that all of us have been talking about. But of course, that will be for later. For now, that was the losers finals. And of course, like we've been saying time and time again, NL, they had a dominant win over Renaissance, and they are waiting for their challengers to win this $1,000 grand prize. Of course, total prize pool of 2,000. You're watching the Start GG Launch League. We'll be right back after this short break for the grand finals for you. Of course, my name is Sneeze, and that's Moonboy, and you better stay tuned, baby.
Hi, Mike.
I'm unmuting myself.
Okay.
My name is JJ Kuhn, guys. My name is.
There we go. It's already fixed. It's already fixed. There you go. So welcome back again, guys. Into Start GG Launch League. They're the ones hosting this one. With 2,000 prize pool, 2,000 USD prize pool for each region for 5 regions, so a total of 10,000 USD. That's a huge amount of money. But what matters now is the game that we have right now. It is the grand finals. It is game number 1. What can you say about this?
What else can I say about this? The draft has already been selected. It's NL the best in Singapore, or one of the best in Singapore, versus AFR, the comeback arc right here. Both teams have everything on the line, and $1,000 is on the line for both of them. So it's gonna be neck to neck for this one. I'm not gonna lie. Bracket read. So, there we go, ladies and gentlemen, the grand final. So, if you guys are supporting AFR or no Lucario, just shout up in the chat right here, because this is gonna be it. This is the final game for tonight, the final set of best of 3, or even a reset if AFR actually gets the win right over here. Oh no, so we got OB Div now. Okay, so I think we're just gonna be looking at that. Okay, while you try, I'm just gonna hype up a little bit more. Like you guys can see Dev right over here. We have seen him in the winners bracket finals previously. No Lucario actually did really well with this team composition, and they are gonna be sticking their guns onto this one. And Dev is on the roll right here, already at level 5, coming out of the central area. Yep, I mean, no Lucario, going in for this sneaky jungle or like central area moves would actually pay off, right? But unable to get anything out of that process, immediately going into the hyperspace hole, going back to the central area to farm up a little bit more. It seems like he might be on track to come out at a level 8, or at least a level 8 to level 9 during the first Dreadnought. So things are looking actually pretty bright for Death for this one. So, especially once he reached that Dragon Knight form, that Hyper Beam is going to be doing so much damage, especially in the objective fights.
Right, and here you go. As you can see, Dev right now currently at level 8. It looks like, though, AFR is going to be able to take down their own, NL's Sarina into that of the top path, but still not going to be enough, though, as in just a few seconds we're going to be seeing the first set of beasts, the second set of beasts rather, into our game, and whoever's going to be able to get that would definitely have an advantage over going over to our Dreadnought. And there you go. It looks like Nolkar was able to answer back with her own Sarina as well.
Yep, take a look at this. Chansey at level 3 right here at the 7-minute mark. That is not where you want to be for a healer, especially when the Blissey is going to be playing a big part. But Dev immediately going straight right down to AFR. It seems like AFR already got a good position for the Dreadnought with 2 men down for NL.
Right. Unfortunately, we are terribly sorry once again. There seems to be a little bit of a technical issue here that we can't control the camera. I can't even click on the any Pokemon, really. I can't click. Can I? I can't.
Well, but it's okay. The show have to go on, right? So there we have the Dreadnought at half HP, but AFR is just trying to get in. But no Lucario immediately getting the Dreadnought all by themselves, and they will be going on the push right here with the Draco Impact immediately going straight right to AFR.
And there you go. They're going to be able to take down one in the process. Going to be able to destroy that first score goal as well. And 110 to 23 is still not a lot here, especially as it's still just the first 4 minutes. But the pressure doesn't stop there. No Lucario is going to be able to take down one more Pokemon into the side of AFR. But it looks like they're not done just yet. They want to get more. But Dev here, one of the main damage dealers, is going to be backing off a little bit. But at the same time, the supports here, we have the Hoopa and of course the Pikachu going to be taken out. So that is a sign here for this arena to just, back off a little bit.
Yep, and immediately moving straight right via the central area, clearing those Corphish off as well. Immediately rotating straight right to the top side, just trying to dunk it in. But the Amaran is not allowing it to do anything at this point in time. But Death still trying his best, scoring 21 in the process. And I believe he will be moving straight right to the Rotom as the rest of AFR get us straight right on top.
Yeah, and here you go, coming in as well. Coming in hot here, no Lucario still has the pressure from both of the top path and the bottom path as well. And it looks like they want to secure this Rotom, and I think they're going to be able to. But Miva with a stomp here going to be able to take that away from them despite having the number advantage. But here it comes, 3v3 situation with the help of Rotom. 3v4 for that anger is going to be used as well. Bliss assistance, but look at that. That Unite move is not going to help out no Lucario. But is that going to be able? That's not going to be enough for them to repel away this Rotom. Yes, it is.
Wow, I mean, KSD popping their Rings Unbound really early, just, 10 seconds before that Dreadnought goes live. So no Rings Unbounds coming in for Lucario for that second Dreadnought fight. But however, AFR have, Hoopa is already at level 9, so things might be looking a little bit better. And there we have Rings Unbound for AFR.
Right, and here you go, another Dreadnought coming up here. Queen's Sense is going to be used here, and Dab is going to be picked off by AFR. And just like that, they're going to be able to secure that Dreadnought as well. And there you go. It looks like AFR is looking like they want to really win this. Obviously, for them to win this tournament, they have to play 2 sets. So they have to win a total of 4 games against No Lucario, and No Lucario only needs to win 2.
Yep, so it's gotta be an uphill climb right here for AFR. But however, we have seen them in the previous rounds as well. They have so many strategies up their arsenal also. So, it's not gonna be a problem going in with a 2 set of best of 3. So, it's down to no Lucario. Are they gonna have an early night right here? Just get a 2-0 and just get it done and over with? Or they will be moving into the reset against AFR?
Yeah, let's find out together, as AFR is really wanting to bounce back, going against no Lucario. But look at that, they're going to be able to take down that Hoopa, a really huge helper into the side of AFR for their own mobility. Unfortunately, with that KO, it's not that big, it's not that big of a KO, but still, a KO is a KO.
Yeah, and you guys take a look at the top right top left corner of the screen right here, as you guys believe that the bottom side path has already been emptied out. No more zone is stopping no Lucario into the central zone. So no Lucario is gonna have a great map positioning, right? They have so much advantage against their opponent, and with this Rotom, they managed to get this one, which they did, and it's gonna be really scary for AFR because look at this aggression. It seems like AFR is constantly on the back foot against Death on that Dragonite.
Yeah, and we might potentially even see what what AFR did to RNS. Essentially giving them a taste of their own medicine by just uniting Rings Unbound towards the center score goal into the side of AOS Fortis Regis, because they don't really need, I don't think they need to get in the Zapdos at this point. All they need to do here is try to secure and widen the gap, that when even if AFR could get it, it still wouldn't matter.
Yep, and there we have, 9 more seconds to that final stretch. Death is all alone at the Dreadnought pit, while the rest of AFR is already in position for that Zapdos, unable to get that Dreadnought for no Lucario, but AFR is already in position for this fight.
Yeah, unfortunately though, we are not going to be seeing that Dreadnought go to anyone else's hands, but Miva's gonna be taken out. Unfortunately, he was able to evade that one with the Queen's Ascendance, the Hyper Beam coming from Dev, but look at that. Hoopa's gonna be able to take down Miva as well. Is he gonna be able to get out? JR absent here, gonna be able to get away? No, not quite yet. Hyper Beam, here comes my bad breath, says Dev here. I think he's having his huge push anyway, but that's just the move. But hey, that's gonna be 3 down into the side of AFR now. 3-1 in favor of No Lucario, and it looks like they're gonna be able to secure the set as well for themselves, widening the gap that they already have against AFR. And I guess it's kind of safe to say as well, if they can score everything here, I think it's safe to say that No Lucario is gonna be taking game 1.
Yep, things is looking bright for No Lucario right over here. I think that particular fight have to props to KST having popping that rings unbound a little bit later compared to AFR, allowing them to stay in a little bit more in that fight. Yeah, so that was a great push coming in. Dev going in for the Draco Impact, immediately targeting the Hoopa, not allowing any rings unbound shenanigans or any hyperspace hold shenanigans from AFR as well. So those are really well thought plan coming in from No Lucario, and they're actually putting it to perfection. 626 to 201, 30 more seconds. AFR, it doesn't really look good for them.
Yeah, 626 to 201, with only 30 seconds left. Taking them like what, 25 seconds for them to get in from their base, going over the the bases into the side of No Lucario. They won't have enough time, and they also don't have enough they also don't have enough points either. So it's really safe to say that it is going to go into the side of No Lucario for game number 1. But as I mentioned, it's going to be a huge statement, right? It's going to be a huge statement if No Lucario, if AO Sports Regis would be able to win against No Lucario, especially considering the fact that No Lucario, they are back, and they are back to reclaim their throne. They have been missing out on the UCS, but now they are back, getting that throne back from APAC, and showing us the decisive win here coming from No Lucario, especially after the performance of AFR against Renaissance.
Yup, I mean, No Lucario is indeed coming in strong for the region. I would say this is one of the best teams or players coming in. You got players from the Divinity, they got players from S9 as well. Solo used to be from S9, and KST, Rice, and Dev, I believe they used to be from Divinity. So this coming together to form back No Lucario. This is a powerhouse coming in. So it might be an old name, but this roster is totally new, and the region really have to watch out for this 5-man right over here.
Yeah, so it looks like we still have a little bit of some issues here. I'm terribly sorry. As you can see here, I'm clicking the screen, but nothing's happening. So just give us a bit. I'll just be restarting the program. So
okay. In the meantime, let Mooney entertain you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the grand finals right over here. Lucario really did put up a great fight against AFR. So it's now time for AFR to answer this particular composition, right? They won Renaissance with this composition previously in the losers bracket finals. So are they able to come back off this one? Because No Lucario is more superior in terms of this particular composition, and they are so strong with it. And it's down to AFR. What kind of composition are they going to cheese out against No Lucario? Maybe they might go for the objective removal team composition as well. Because they have already used it against Renaissance, this might work against NL.
It might be, but again, it's in a way, right? We've already seen AFR play with 3 different strategies for the previous game, so it's not like the other instances where if we're looking at a team, we think of things how they are going to be able to adjust against No Lucario or any team in particular, because that's how we usually look things through, right? A little bit of adjustment to their composition, to their gameplay, things like that. But AFR, you can't really say it's not that they are going to be adjusting against their opponent, but rather they are. It's like they have a full set, right? Like they have a full set of strategies that they can use against you, and they just choose whatever would work. Right?
Yeah, that's definitely right. But however, the second game coming in is gonna be match point for No Lucario. So the strategy that AFR is gonna pick have to nail it, right? So they have
Mm-hmm.
to pick that right strategy or that perfect strategy for them to move this game into game number 3 and hopefully push it into that reset, because no Lucario is not allowing them to have any break. And when it comes back to the drafting of best of 3 mind games as well, no
Mm-hmm.
Lucario knows that AFR has so much more to offer. So they might be a little bit wary of, especially that objective composition coming in from AFR.
Right. So here we go. I've fixed the I've fixed the thing. Yeah, I fixed the thing.
Yay!
Yay! What did you, Moon Boy? Please, 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 please. What
We
do you
got
mean?
to do it. I had to do it.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, thank you,
Yay!
thank you. So yeah, it is AFR right now on the left side, right? AFR on the left side. NL currently needs one more game, right? Currently needs one more game to win the entire match. And there you go. What do you think could happen here? What do you think would be the strategy here for AFR? Do you think perhaps we might be able to see them use the Korean strategy again from Eternity going against NL? And how do you think would it fare against No Lucario?
Well, I think Nolo Car actually saw them applying it previously, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that actually means that they might be prepared for this particular composition. And if Nolo Car is a strong team as what they are, they would be prepared for whatever that's going to be coming in their way. So if they are good enough, they would
Mm-hmm.
be able to react to whatever kind of composition AFR is going to be throwing at them. So it's down to this one, right? Their reaction time, or even if a maybe they would switch to an Absol or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, but that might be a good composition, or like good strategy for NL.
Yeah, and here you go. Let's find out together how AFR is going to be. Sorry, let's find out together which strategy AFR is going to be using against
Yeah.
NL. We don't want to look for the adjustments. We want to look for the what strategy are they using.
Yep, I think No Lucario is immediately clocking in the same kind of composition, right? And things might be looking great for No Lucario. This composition work. There's no need to readjust. But AFR, on the other hand, seems like they're not going in for the objective composition, but instead the double all-rounder composition.
Mm-hmm. Now we're definitely not going to be seeing the okay. You might be able to see Shua here with the going back into Charizard as they did earlier. But as you said, it could be double. Oh, never mind. They're gonna go back to their roots. Still gonna be the Venusaur. Shua's pretty known as a Venusaur user, especially with the Venusaur tournament. And it's a double support meta. Still coming in from wait. Wait, I think this is the same exact team that they used against on the Winter Tournament.
Yep. So I think this is like a funnel kind of like composition, right? Like
Obviously,
funnel.
except for Lupa, because
Yeah.
that was an LD cost.
So like they are likely to be funneling most of the EXP into Shua, and we might see a Venusaur going wrecking havoc. So it's down to death, right? Those burst damage coming in for Hyper Beam, is it gonna be enough to take down the Venusaur in a fight scenario? Because Venusaur could be really tanky, and those burst damage might be what you're looking for in a fight.
Right. So let's find out together if that is what they are going to go for. But Weeva right now, hopefully. Okay. You know what? Let me check first. Can I click? Yes. There you go. Finally, we we have something. Finally, got it fixed. There you go.
All right, so immediately it's gonna be a 2-1-2 from the both side, but something about No Lucario is that Death, instead of going straight right to the central area, he's supporting that bottom lane first. So that's a really interesting move coming in for No Lucario.
Yeah, and it's almost as if they have the same position. And as you mentioned, Dev going into the bottom lane, bottom path rather, instead of the top path is actually quite interesting as well, because normally you want your top path, right? Your top Pokemon to be the one who scales, because if you can get your top path Pokemon to scale up, then everything else would follow.
Yep, that is that's exactly what you said, right? But solo might be a little bit of a trouble right up here, immediately going down to the Zarina from AFR, and coming down so early might not be where you want to be. But I think this is where Death realized, it's time to go up top to support my teammate.
Right. So let's find out together whether that's going to be the case here, as we're going to see the first beast here. It looks like most of that went into the side of No Lucario. However, Dan here is still at level 3, doesn't have XP share, so they definitely want to get that level 4 so they can get the Blissey immediately moving forward.
Yep. So wow, something interesting coming in from No Lucario. I think they're going with this soft boil instead of the the safeguard right here. So it's gonna be loss of egg management for the side of NL.
Egg bomb and what do you call this? Egg bomb and soft boil. So that's 5 stacks.
Yep. So he got to manage a little bit more on the eggs, but it's gonna be really interesting coming in with such build from No Lucario.
There we go. My goodness. Here we go. Let's find out. Almost there into the second set of bees. Oh my goodness. They're going to be able to take down one as well. Trying to... And this is what we're talking about, right? This is what we're talking about, dude. That you want to have your top Pokemon scale. And that is what's happening here for AFR right now. They are ensuring that Miva won't get taken out. And ensuring that they can scale. Because, at the end of the day, that is the Pokemon that will be helping you on team fights.
Yep, I mean, this is how exactly funnel composition works, right? Protect everything and funnel all the EXP towards your...
Ray's gonna be taken out.
Down goes right to Miva immediately. No contest coming in, but the rest of the fray is here. They're here. The cavalry is here to help it out as Solo manages to just push them back. AFR has no choice but to retreat off this one. 10 more seconds till the Dreadnought, and I believe it's gonna be a rotation straight right to the bottom side. It's gonna be a 5v5.
Right, and here you go, almost coming in for the Dreadnought. Let's find out who's going to be able to take it. Here comes the Hyper Pulse as well, just in time for Jeff to take out that Citrus Bear as well. But it looks like they're going to be able to take down one. Pikachu's going to be taken out. It looks like the Blissey is going to be taken out as well. Here you go, Solo is inside, getting burgered here by AFR, but they're not going to be able to answer back. But at the very least, they were able to take down 2 in the process. That's going to be 2-for-1 trade here in favor of No Lucario, but they're going to be able to take down that Dreadnought as well, just in time for them to recover as well, getting in a reset once again. There we go, Draco Impact, just enough for them to get in some boost coming in from that Unite move that they're going to be able to take down 2 in the process as well.
There was a great sneak coming in from the Hoopa from No Lucario side. I believe he's going to be deaf on that Hoopa. Oh no, KST on that Hoopa, right? Great timing right there, taking down that Dreadnought while the rest of the team returns and win that fight immediately. And that is what No Lucario is all about. AFR don't really have the time to burst it down as fast as possible, but No Lucario take the Dreadnought and just win over the fight, immediately rotating straight right to the Rotom for themselves, pushing AFR right back to their goal.
Right, and there you go. It looks like the first 2 major objectives here are going to be taken down by No Lucario, and it seems as if AFR doesn't have any answer against them.
Yeah, things is looking really great for No Lucario, right? Even though AFR, did manage to push No Lucario a little bit back, but once, that Solo goes online with that Serena, he's all the way solo, man. Like, he could 1v4 everyone without any problem, and that's the Pokemon to actually stop. So if you stop that, Solo is just gonna be on the run.
Yeah, but here you go, though. It looks like AFR still wants to bounce back here despite the lead that No Lucario already has against them. But Ray here going to be able to try to get away. Thunderstorm is going to be used, no backup. So I think that's a little bit of a waste here. But at the very least, they were able to survive with the help of the Unite move boost. But is that worth it? What do you think? Is that worth it that you use the Unite move? I mean, I guess, Pikachu kind of recovers their Unite move quite quickly. But at that moment...
I mean, Pikachu, like what you said, Pikachu have the fastest, one of the fastest, recharge for the Unite move, and especially with a damage amplifier stack on it as well. But rings unbound from both sides. We're gonna see a scramble as the rest of the team get us straight right in the bottom side.
Right, and here you go, another action coming up But look at that, JR Absent almost getting a lot of damage right here. Shows going to be able to take down the Dreadnought as well. That's going to be one down for the side of No Lucario. But it looks like Slow Beam is going to be used here for Solo. Solo wasn't able to do anything at all. That's going to be 3 down into the side of No Lucario. They're getting picked up one by one. Queen's Assistant as well. And here comes a follow-up here coming in from Heart 1. That's going to be 5 down. Sorry, no, that's just 4 down. 4 down into the side of No Lucario with the Dreadnought as well. So not only were they able to get in the XP coming in from the Dreadnought, but they were also able to get in the XP from taking out No Lucario. So right now it looks like they have the lead in terms of XP as well.
Yeah, things are looking great for AFR right now, but this game is not over yet. As long as the clock is not 0, the game is not over. There's no winner until the clock turns 0. But No Lucario rotating straight right to the top side. They got that lead or that positioning onto that Rotom. So it seems like it's looking great for No Lucario to get that Rotom, while AFR just scrambles around the map, just farming a lot more EXP, trying to find more leads against their opponent.
It's actually quite interesting as well that you know for a fact that they can actually contest that Rotom, but they choose not to. I mean, there's too much of a time though, you know, for them to recover if they get taken out anyway.
Yup, and Miwa being caught in the 1v4 right in the central area as well. No Lucario immediately going for the push. Miwa is out of the contest, and now all they have to do is just stop that Venusaur from doing his thing. And there we have, you know, No Lucario.
Storm again coming in from Raid, and let's find out if they're going to be able to, you know, defend this score goal away, and they were able to do so in such a fashion. But look at this, Solo right now coming in with Raid as well. Are they going to be able to take down JR Absent? Oh, look at that. Amazing evasion coming in from JR Absent, but there it goes. Another one hyperspace hold just for them, you know, to recover. Solo doesn't, they can't have Solo die. You know, they can't have Solo get KO, because that's one of the main attacks that they do have. And if they want to win this, then Solo is a huge asset for the side of No Lucario right now.
Yep, that is definitely right. And No Lucario immediately targeting the Dreadnought, you know. But AFR, I think this is the right time for them to retreat from the Dreadnought, get a good positioning onto that Zapdos so that you can prepare for the fight against No Lucario. Both teams are pretty even on the level departments right here, and you know, it's just down to the chase. And AFR trying to sneak a little bit of a 50 right on the top, but however, KSD sneak a 40 down below as well. But AFR have the point.
Comes the battle.
It's gotta be a scramble.
Yes, here comes potentially the final battle if No Lucario can win here. But look at that, Unite is going to be coming up where that Anger is as well. Hyperspace Fury is going to be used here. Shua trying to survive once again, but Raid here almost getting KO'd as well. Oh my god, Cyber is going to be used here to take them down. Miva trying to get away, fortunately was able to get down, and here comes Raid here. Going to be able to deal some damage as well, but it looks like 2 is going to be going down into the side of Aeos Fortress Regis. And as well, Raid is just trying to score in. Trying to get in some, you know, trying to deviate the attention of AFR here, but it looks like No Lucario still is going to be able to get in that Zapdos, and it looks like we're looking at the winners here for our grand finals. But, you know, there's still a lot of time here for AFR for them to catch up, but the question is, do they have the points to do so?
Take away their main attackers, take away their damage dealer, and all they left is Floro and a Blissey in the Legendaries pit. That is not the position that AFR want to be. No Lucario got everyone online near the Zapdos, and there's no way AFR could just steal that Zapdos away from them. No Lucario calculated that perfectly, took that Zapdos down, scoring as much points as possible. 214, 611. AFR left with only one more fight to push this through, but Solo going in solo, dunking in at about 86 all by himself, and AFR might be a little bit of a trouble. 30 more seconds. It seems like that what you said, a champion is definitely going to be crowned.
Yeah, and here you go. This is, I like how you noticed that as well, that No Lucario actually targeted the attackers here from the side of Aeos Fortress Regis, and from there on out, you know, they were left with what? The Slowbro, we have the Blissey, we have the Hoopa, which cannot really deal a lot of damage against them or to the Zapdos, and from there on out, that was a huge micro play here coming from No Lucario, which allowed them to get in the Zapdos and take the win as well. So it looks like we're not going to go into any reset, as that is going to be our final game. You just got a glimpse, okay? You just got a glimpse of what may happen in the regionals for Aeos... No, not Aeos Cup. Regionals, yeah. UCS Regionals for the UCS. There we go. That's what I mean to say. That's what I meant to say.
Yep, I mean, No Lucario came back strong. You know, this old name, this old community name, we have not forgotten. This new lineup as well. But however, you know, they are moving in regionals with a target on their back. This composition coming in, or this strategy coming in from NL is formidable. But is it gonna be sustainable for another week? Because they have a whole weekend worth of battle coming towards them in the regionals finals. So, you know, they have to keep this up, because right now they are at the forefront with a huge target on their back.
Right, and you know, I just can't wait to see how AFR and obviously the rest of the teams as well, you know, the rest of the games, the rest of the teams rather, to have a revenge against No Lucario. And obviously, as I mentioned, No Lucario is currently in the what do you call this? It's currently in the top of the food chain in APAC.
Yeah.
So again, as you mentioned, they have a lot in line here.
Yep, definitely. Like, take a look at the health item again, guys. Solo on that potion and KSD on the potion as well. We haven't seen potion running around in high competitive play, but that is possibly the reason why, you know, Solo is just so tanky throughout the whole game, just because of that level 1 item potion.
Right, and yeah, it's just amazing to see. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a, you know, we're not going to be able to get a reset. But again, this is not the end. This is not the only tournament that we do have for, well, Pokemon Unite in general. And hopefully we can get back as well, you know, for our... that's... sorry. We can get back again, you know, for more Pokemon Unite here at Start.GG. Once again, thank you very much to Start.GG for having the launch league as well. Very huge prize pool for our players. There's what? $2,000 prize pool, and for those who doesn't know, the first place, which is again, it's No Lucario, right? They won 1,000 USD. For the second place, they have 500 USD. For the third place, they have 300 USD, and for the fourth placer, they have 200 USD. So here are our winners. We have No Lucario, or as they say, NL stands for no lose, winning with our grand champion, you know, grand championship prize. We have AOS Fortis Regis as our second placer. Our third placer is going to be none other than Renaissance, and our fourth placer is RJ Gaming.
Yep, I mean, big congratulations to all the winners right here. You guys deserve an air horn. Yeah,
There we go.
so, you know,
There
you
we
guys
go.
did a great job today. You know, you guys played what, 100 over teams, you know, sign up for this tournament, and we are down to our final champion right here, No Lucario, and you know, props to all 99 plus over teams actually that joined this competition. You know, it's not an easy task climbing this big ladder of 100 plus players, and you know, finally we you know, crown our champion, and we're just excited to see what else these teams are going to offer next week in the regionals finals.
Yeah, so for now, you know, let's call upon our friend here, Permasneeze. Are you here? Are you here?
You're muted.
He's muted. He's perma muted again. My
Oh, you
goodness, he's
muted?
perma muted again.
It's funny you say that when you went 2 entire games without any microphone, but you know what? I'll
Not
let
two
that one
entire
slide.
games. Not two
No, I'll
entire
let
games.
that one slide.
Not
It's
entire
fine. You know,
games.
you wanna
Not
wanna
entire
recover
games.
by throwing me under the bus. It's all good, homie. That's what I'm here for, baby. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, I'm more than here. You've already panned to me multiple times throughout this broadcast. I'm definitely here. But yeah, I mean, what you guys said, right? Expected. Sort of. I won't want to say we expected this, but NL, as much as the AFR revenge arc could have been real, it's NL. It's NL. They've been the top dogs of the region for a reason. They show that they haven't dropped the ball at all, and this is a really cute preview for the upcoming UCS regional finals, baby.
Hopefully we get we're there to cast though. Hopefully we're there to cast.
Hopefully.
Smile.
London as well, maybe.
London as well. Yeah, if you want us to be, you know, if you want us to go to London, actually, yeah, please want us to go to London.
Please support us.
London, yeah.
I do want to say though, like unrelated, but I can't believe they ran 2 potions and they won. That's kind of dumb.
Yeah, I
Who's
mean
supposed
that's
to come?
I guess that's what Moonboy is saying. You know, with the sustainability, they really want to get
Yeah, the
sustained
sustainability.
Yeah,
for
sustainability, guys.
Yeah, the sustain.
that's what they
Okay.
really want to have, right? Especially sustaining themselves over huge team fights, which they did.
Yeah,
Which they
I
did.
mean, it ends up working out. Like it seems like a bit of a job, but it's not that bad of an item anyway.
Yeah, I mean
Oh
20,
damn! What
20,
the hell?
20%, 25% of your HP is
Yeah, bro,
Yeah,
recovered.
that's
that's
pretty
a lot,
good.
man.
That's pretty
Back to
good.
That's
basics,
pretty
guys. Back to
huge.
basics. Back to
Okay,
basics.
yeah, but anyways, that's about it, right? JJ, is that
Mhm.
it for us today?
Yeah.
Oh my god, wait, JJ, can you keep nodding? Your camera does something really funny.
It's like
Okay,
wavy, right?
yeah. Did you see just now? It's like eyebrows combined with his eyes or something. That was.
Oh. You know
Yeah, you
what?
got an effect on or
Since we
something.
did a pretty good job in the broadcast,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I
there you
mean.
go. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you very much once again, guys, for watching us over here at Start That GG Launch League, and here we are, your casters once again. My name is JJ. With me is Perma Sneeze and Moonboy. Hopefully, you get to see us on regional championships as well. If we do get some news, if we're gonna be returning there over next week, but we do hope that you guys enjoyed a little bit of a preview of what may happen on the regional championships as well. And this is it. We are all signing out, and we'll see you on the next one if there is. We'll see you in the next one. Yeah, if there is. We'll see you in the next one if there is.
Just cut the shit, man. What's
Just cut the